Veeru invested 10,000 at 5% simple interest, and after exactly 2 years, Joy invested 8,000 at 10% simple annual interest. How many years after Veeru's investment will their balances, that is principal plus accumulated interest, be equal? Let's assume it will be equal after n years. After n years, Veeru would have 10,000 plus 10,000 into 5 by 100 into n. Joy would have 8,000 plus 8,000 into 10 by 100 into n minus 2. Why? Because Joy is investing it for 2 years lesser. That's it. Solve this, we should get. And 5 by 100, 100 gets cancelled. This is 500n. 100 gets cancelled. This is 800n minus 1600. 800 into minus 2. This is equal to this. 10,000, this side is also 2,000 plus 500n is 800n minus 1,600. Bring this 1,600 this year. 3,600 is equal to 300n. 800 minus 500. Mark off 2 zeros. 36 by 3. N is 36 by 3, 12. Veeru invests for 12 years. Joy invests for 10. Their balances would be same. The train traveled at 1/3 of its usual speed and hence reached the destination 30 minutes after the scheduled time. Oh, wonderful. Speed instead of x becomes x by 3. That means time taken, t, would become 3t. A very simple question. This 3t is 30 minutes after the scheduled time. So the extra 2t is 30 minutes. Or t is 15 minutes. Or when the train travels at x, it takes 15 minutes. When it travels at x by 3, it takes 45 minutes. On its return journey, the train initially traveled at its usual speed for 5 minutes. Lovely. So we're talking about the return journey. So it goes like this. Return journey is like this. On its usual speed for 5 minutes. Usual speed, it would have covered the whole distance in 15 minutes. So for 5 minutes, coming back like this, 1/3 of the distance would have been covered. But then stop for 4 minutes for an emergency. So stops for 4 minutes. 4 minutes get lost here. And so 9 minutes are down so far. The percentage by which the train must now increase its usual speed so as to reach the destination on scheduled time is nearest to 5 plus 4, 9 minutes are gone. The total time taken, the scheduled time, which is 15 minutes. So the train should cover this distance in 6 minutes. If this 4 minutes break had not been there, it would have covered in 10 minutes. Lovely question. So what it would have covered in 10, now it should cover in 6. This speed were x. This speed has to be x into 10 by 6 or x into 5 by 3. If the time taken should reduce, speed should increase. And it's the same ratio. 10 falls to 6, x should increase to x into 10 by 6, x into 5 by 3. X goes to 5 by 3x, an increase of 2/3 of x, or 67%. It's a beautiful question because you're just thinking in terms of ratios and you're through. You don't need to do distance by time of speed, speed into time of distance, none of that. Just think in terms of ratios, you're good to go. A straight road connects points A and B. Car 1 travels from A to B and car 2 travels from B to A, both leaving at the same time. After meeting each other, they take 45 minutes and 20 minutes respectively to complete their journeys. Wonderful. It's a standard template. I've seen this template. It's appeared many times. C1 this way, C2 this way. And so after meeting, they take 45 and 20 minutes. So they meet somewhere here. So, and then C1 takes 45 minutes. C2 takes 20 minutes. Let's assume C1 has taken t minutes and C2 should have taken the same t minutes because they meet. Okay. Now, their speeds are constant. So the ratio of their speeds will be the same. The ratio of time taken should be same. If C1 takes t minutes and C2 takes 20 minutes, or C1 takes 45 minutes, C2 takes t minutes, this by this should be equal to this by this. the distances are not the same, the ratio of time taken to cover the same distance will be the same. Traveling this time by this time should be equal to this time by this time. T by 20 equals 45 by T, or T square equals 900, T is 30. In other words, C1 takes 50% more time in both instances. C1 takes 50% more time. That means C1 is slower. And so if C2 took time t, C1 will take time 3 by 2t. C2's speed were x, C1 speed will be 2 by 3x. 2/3 of x is 60 kilometers per hour. X is 60 into 3 by 2, 90 kilometers per hour. This template you should have seen before. If you know that template, then this question becomes a complete walk. This is where practice helps. Doing tons of questions, you're likely to hit upon many templates. So make sure you do those tons of questions. A, B, and C are positive integers such that sum of A and the mean of B and C is 5. A plus B plus C by 2 is 5. The sum of B and the mean of A and C, A plus C by 2 is 7. The sum of A and B is, okay, let's multiply this by 2. 2A plus B plus C is 10. 2B plus A plus C is 14. Lovely. I want to find A plus B. If I add these two, we'll get 3A plus 3B plus 2C. I don't want that. If you subtract one from the other, C will disappear. Subtract the right way. Subtract this from this. I don't want negative numbers. B minus A is 4. This is tricky. We're not going anywhere with B minus A. B minus A is 4. How does that help? We want A plus B. Okay, let's do this. B is A plus 4. So plug that in here. So 2A plus A plus 4 plus C is 10. 3A plus C is 6. Lovely. This is where this 3 positive integers part comes in. I tried this question originally and did not accept that. And I was trying to algebraically solve it. 3 positive integers. 3A plus C is 6. So the minimum value A, B, C could be is 1. We put A as 1. C is 3. Put A as 2. C is 0. That's not possible. We put A as anything more than 2. C will have to be negative. Or A has to be 1. That means B has to be 5. C has to be 3. We've got all 3 numbers. The sum of A and B, 1 plus 5 is 6. That positive integers term is given in order for us to crack this funda. Then don't do this algebraically. Think about it. Pause and then figure it out. A person spent 50,000 to purchase a desktop computer and a laptop computer. 50K, a desktop and a laptop. We sold the desktop at a 20% profit and the laptop at a 20% loss. 0.2D minus 0.1L. Overall, he made a 2% profit. Then the purchase price in rupees of the desktop is super. 0.2D minus 0.1L is 2% of 50K. 2 by 100, so it will go away. 2 into 500,000. 0.2D minus 0.1L is 1000, or 2D minus L is 10,000. We know D plus L is 50,000. The total price. Add these two. 3 times desktop is 60,000. Or cost of desktop is 60,000 by 3, which is 20,000. 2 persons are walking beside a railway track at respective speeds of 2 and 4 kilometers per hour in the same direction. So a railway track. A is going at 2 kilometers per hour. B is going at 4 kilometers per hour. A train came from behind them and crossed them in 90 and 100 seconds respectively. Train crosses them. That means the length of the train is crossed. Relative train speed is t. Relative speeds are t minus 2 and t minus 4. T minus 2 and t minus 4 crossed in 90 and 100 seconds. T minus 2 is a faster vehicle, traveled in 90 seconds and 100 seconds. Wonderful. So the ratio of the speed should be the opposite of ratio of the times, or time taken into speed is constant. T minus 2 into 90 is t minus 4 into 100. T is the speed of the train. Sorry, I should pick a different variable. 90 minus 18 is 10t minus 40, or t is 22. The train is traveling at a speed of 22 kilometers per hour. Lovely. This is 20 kilometers per hour. This is 18 kilometers per hour. Lovely. Now the train alone travels. So traveling at 20 kilometers per hour, the train takes 90 seconds. Traveling at 22 kilometers per hour, how much time will the train take? 90 into 20 by 22. Make it 11, make it 10. 900 by 11. You go 8 times 20, 81 point some large number, 82 is work. Leaving home at the same time, Amal reaches office at 10:15 if he travels at 8 kilometers per hour, and at 9:40 if he travels at 15 kilometers per hour. Forget the starting time. He travels at 8 kilometers per hour and he travels at 15 kilometers per hour. The ratio of the time taken should be 15:8. If he takes 15t time, he'll take 8t time. Brilliant. With this, you're through. That means the difference in time taken is 70. He starts at 10:15. He starts at 9:40. Reaches office at 10:15. Reaches office at 10:15. Reaches at 9:40. If he travels at 15 kilometers per hour, the difference between these two times is 35 minutes. 7t is 35. T is 5. This is 40 minutes. This is 75 minutes. We're done. So he will reach in 40 minutes if he travels at 15 kilometers per hour. In 75 minutes if he travels at 8 kilometers per hour. The difference between those two is 35 minutes. Or he takes 40 minutes if he reaches at 9:40 a.m. He starts at 9 a.m. Leaving home at 9:10 a.m. at what speed in kilometers per hour must he travel so as to reach office exactly at 10 a.m. Or he should take 50 minutes. Okay. If he travels at 15 kilometers per hour, he takes 40 minutes. If he has to take 50 minutes, what speed should he travel? 15 into 40 by 50. Take more time, will take lesser. 15 by 5 is 3. 3 into 4, 12 kilometers per hour. Remember, I'm not converting this to hour. I'm not finding the distance. I'm just saying speed into time is speed into time. Find a lot of these speed time distance questions, especially in this format, which become much simpler if you can just think in terms of ratios. Ratio of time speeds is 8:15. Ratio of time taken will be 15:8. That's all. The moment you grab that, the starting time is known. You know the starting time is 9. He takes 40 minutes at 15 kilometers per hour. He has to take 50 minutes. What speed should he be traveling at? 12 kilometers per hour. Let's look at this one. This again with the percentages. Should be interesting. In a group of people, 28% of the members are young while the rest are old. 65% of the members are literate and 25% of the literates are young. The percentage of old people among the illiterate is nearest to. Let's look at this one. It should be simple. 28% are young, rest are old. So 28% young, old is 72%. The standard template, 65% are literates. So literates 65%. So 35% are not literate. And 25% of the literates are young. So 25% of these are young. 25% of 65, half of 65 is 32.5. Half of that is 16.25% are young. Then the percentage of old people among the illiterates is nearest to.
So we want to find among the illiterates what percentage, what number is old. We find that, then we can do that by that and then simplify. Out of 65%, 16.25% are young, the remaining are old. Right? So we can find the old here, plonk that here, find the not literate and then simplify there. Or conversely, we can say among the young people, 16.25% are literate. 16.25. So not literate would be the remaining. 28 minus 16 is 12. This is 11.75. So out of 28%, 16.25% are literate, 11.75 are not literate. This is the young population. So this is 11.75. The remaining is here. 35 minus 12 is 23. This will be 23.25%. So what percentage of this number is this number? That's our question. So we're looking for 23.25 divided by 35 into 100. So I'm going to do multiply by 4 the numerator and denominator because I don't want to deal with 0.25. 23.25 into 4 is 92. 93 by 140 into 100. So 930 by 14, whatever that is, it is 66. I will take a guess at 66. 930 by 14 should be 66 point something. That's the answer we're looking for. Standard question, the same data set broken in two ways, young and old, literate and illiterate. And then if you're given what percentage of literate are young or what percentage of old people are illiterate, you can fill pretty much everything else. This is a standard template. You should get plenty of practice on this template. Wonderful. We're going to start doing this one. An alloy is prepared by mixing three metals A, B and C in the proportion 3:4:7 by volume. Weights of the same volume of the metals A, B and C are in the ratio of 5:2:6. 130 kilogram, etc., etc. We'll come to the question part later. There are three metals A, B and C. This has volume in the ratio 3:4:7. So if we have 14 liters, then there are 3 liters of this, 4 liters of this and 7 liters of that. For the same volume, that is if you have 1 liter of A, 1 liter of B and 1 liter of C, then the weights are in the ratio of 5:2:6. So for 1 liter, you can say it's 5 kilograms, 2 kilograms, 6 kilograms. Why am I saying that? Because the link between these two just jumps out. The ratio of volumes is this. Ratio of weights for unit volume is 5:2:6. For 1 liter of A, that weighs 5 kilograms. 3 liters will weigh 3 into 5. 1 liter of B weighs 2 kilograms. 4 liters will weigh 4 into 2. So the ratio by weight is going to be 15:8:42. With that, we're pretty much done. And so the ratio by weight is 15:8:42. The question here is 130 kilograms of the alloy. The weight in kilogram of the metal C is, so 15:8:42. Add all three up. This is 65 units. So 65 units correspond to 130 kilograms. This is lovely into 2. 42 units should correspond to 84 kilograms. Luckily, the numbers just fall in place. 65 units is 130. So 42 units will be 84 kilograms. A gentleman decided to treat a few children in the following manner. He gives half of his total stock of toffees and 1 extra to the first child, and then half of the remaining stock along with 1 extra to the second, and continues giving away in this fashion. His total stock exhausts after he takes care of 5 children. How many toffees were there in his stock? Lovely. Let's assume he starts with n. Then he gives away n by 2 plus 1. Or what will he have? He'll have n by 2 minus 1. And then of this, he gives away half plus 1. Half of n by 2 minus 1 plus 1 he gives away. Or half of n by 2 minus 1 minus 1 he'll retain. Straight away we can sense there'll be an n by 4 term sitting here. And then there'll be an n by 8, n by 8 minus 1 by 4, something like that. Right? So n by 16, that becomes complicated. Right? These kind of questions, one very simple rule, don't start from the first child till the end. Start from right to left. Right? What am I going to do? We know that the last child gets half plus 1 extra. And at that time, he runs out. And I'm going to think about the 5th kid. Think about what does he have with him when he goes to the 5th kid. He gives away half plus 1. So before he gives away the last one, he's given away half of what he had. That means that half of what he had should be equal to this one. Or when he goes to the fifth kid, he should have had 2. Half of 2 is 1, plus 1 is 2, he goes to 0. So when he goes to the fifth kid, he has 2 chocolates with him. Now let's go one more step back. He's given a half of what he had and 1 more, after which he's left with 2. So before giving that 1 more, he should have had 3. That is half of what he had. Or before he goes to the fourth kid, he should have had 6 chocolates. Half of 6 is 3, plus 1 is 4. He gives away 4, he has 2 remaining. Now we know the mechanism. 2 plus 1 into 3. 0 plus 1 into 2. 6 plus 1 into 3. That is 14. Sorry, into 2. 6 plus 1, 7 into 2. Half of what he had plus 1. So minus 1. So we're doing it the other way around. To 6 add 1, 7. Into 2 is 14. To 14 add 1. Into 2 is 30. To 30 add 1. Into 2 is 62. He has 62 to begin with. He gives away 32 for the first kid. He has 30 remaining. He gives away 16 for the second kid. Has 14 remaining. Gives away 8. Has 6 remaining. Gives away 4. Has 2 remaining. Gives away the 2. Or he should have started with 62 toffees. And so these kind of questions become very simple if you start from the last step backwards. He finally runs out of toffees after he has given to the fifth kid. So think about how much he had when he is going to the fifth kid, and then just work backwards. Once you know the mechanics, it is plus 1 into 2, plus 1 into 2, plus 1 into 2, and do any math after that. Wonderful. Let's do this one. A solution of volume 40 liters has dye and water in the proportion 2:3. Water is added to the solution to change this proportion to 2:5. If 1/4 of this diluted solution is taken out, how many liters of dye must be added to the remaining solution to bring the proportion back to 2:3? It looks like there's lots of data here, but it's a sitter. It's a proper sitter. And let's go step by step. 40 liters, dye and water. So I'm going to write down 40, dye, water. In the ratio 2:3, 2/5 of this, 3/5 of this, 16 and 24. Water is added to the solution to change this proportion to 2:5. So we're adding water. So water will change, but the dye remains as 16. This ratio is 2:5. 2 into 8 is 16. 5 into 8 is 40. So this should be 40. Lovely. If 1/4 of this diluted solution is taken out, 1/4 of the overall solution is taken out. That means 1/4 of this will get taken out. 1/4 of this will get taken out. So finally, we'll have 12 liters of this, 30 liters of this. 1/4 of 40 is 10, 1/4 of 16 is 4. That gets taken out. So you have 60, 12 and 30 now. Now, how many liters of dye must be added to the remaining solution to bring the proportion back to 2:3? What should we add here? So the ratio remains as 2:3. This is going to stay as 30. This should be 2:3. If this is 30, this should be 20. This is 20, we're adding 8 liters. We're not doing anything algebraic, not plonking in a lot of formulae. One very simple, very important idea when you're going from one mixture to another, by just changing one of the entities, then remember that the other entity doesn't change. It sounds like it's very complicated. It's not. Here we're going from this mixture to this one by adding water. Therefore, track dye. Here we're going from this mixture to this by adding dye. Therefore, track water. That's it. Fine. So make sure that whatever is not changing, you're anchoring around that. This question becomes very simple. Let's do this one. Interesting question. In a car race, car A beats car B by 45 kilometers. Car B beats car C by 50 kilometers. And car A beats car C by 90 kilometers. The distance in kilometers over which the race has been conducted is. Very interesting question. Some race. A beats B by 45 and A beats C by 90. And so let's assume the distance is x. When A beats B by 45, that means when A completes the race, B has done only x minus 45. A beats C by 90 kilometers, or when A completes the race, C has done only x minus 90. The interesting thing here, we're told that B beats car C by 50 kilometers. That means when B completes the race. So we can't compare this state. B should have completed the race, or when B finishes the whole thing, C would have done only x minus 50. Very interesting. It becomes a classic ratios question. The first context, when A does X, B does X minus 45, C does X minus 90. When B does X, then C does X minus 50. Fine. Very simple, very, the only thing we need to think about is ratios, nothing more than that. The ratio of distance covered between B to C is always the same. So X minus 45 by X minus 90 is X by X minus 50. Cross multiply, simplify if you're through. Right? So I'm going to do that. X minus 45 by X minus 90. X minus 45 by X minus 90 is equal to X by X minus 50. Cross multiply, we'll have X square minus 95X plus 45 into 50. I don't want to multiply this. This is 45 is equal to X square minus 90X. This goes off. Take this 95 that side. 45 into 50 is 95X minus 90X, which is 5X, or X is 450 kilometers. A lot of these ratio questions just become racers questions, just become ratio questions. And the distance traveled by A to distance traveled by B is always the same, no matter what the length of the race is. B to C, always the same. And so just translate to ratio, we're good to go. So again, it's a lovely question, very challenging question. At least I found it to be challenging. Right? In a group of 10 students, the mean of the lowest 9 students is 42, while the mean of the highest 9 students is 47. For the entire group of 10 students, the maximum possible mean exceeds the minimum possible mean by. And so 10 students, let's say A1, A2, all the way till A10. Mean of the lowest 9 scores is 42. So I'm going to add up A1 to A9. Sum of all this is 42 into 9. When I don't want to deal with the mean, I want to deal with the total. The 9 entities, so total is 42 into 9. The sum of these 9 is 47 into 9. Sitting here is a very simple, very powerful idea. The sum of the first 9 is A1 through to A9. That is, keeping A1 aside, it is A2 to A9. Sum of the last 9 is A2 to A10, or keeping A10 aside, it is A2 to A9. This bunch is present in both of these sums. And very simple. And so A1 plus this bunch is 42 into 9. A10 plus this bunch is 47 into 9. You subtract one from the other, you can get A10 minus A9. And so I want to write this down differently. A1 plus this total is 42 into 9. A10 plus this total is 47 into 9. This total is everything from A2 to A9. Okay. You subtract one from the other. A10 minus A1 is 47 minus 42 into 9, 5 into 9, 45. Or this number is 45 more than this number. Okay. Now, let's rewrite it like that. So, we have A1, A2, A3, all the way till A9, and this will be A1 plus 45. For the entire group of 10 students, the maximum possible mean exceeds the minimum possible mean by. So we need to find the maximum possible mean, we need to find the minimum possible mean. Very simple idea. Going from 1, this is one number A1, this is A1 plus 45. And so quite simply you can say, I want the remaining mean, the lowest scores will be 42. So I can have one instance where each of these numbers is 42. And that number will be 42 plus 45. The other extreme will be the instance where each of the last numbers is 47. So you plonk this as 47, 47, 47. This number is also 47. The first number is 47 minus 45, which is 2. This will represent the minimum, this will represent one boundary, this will represent another boundary. Find the difference in the means, that's the answer you're looking for. And one extreme is when A1 through to A9 are all equal. Another extreme is when A2 to A10 are all equal. Plonk this, find the means and you're good to go. Find the mean in the first case, all of these have 42. So that 42 averages out to 42. plus this additional 45, 45 over 10 instances. So this average will be 42 plus 4.5. Everything has 42. This also has 42 plus an additional 45. 45 over 10 units is 42 plus 4.5. This average is direct 46.5. This one, there are 9 47s or 10 47s minus 45. This average will be 47 minus 4.5. 42 plus 4.5, this is 46.5. This is 47 minus 4.5, which is 42.5. The difference between these two is 4. The choice you're looking for. And wonderful question, delightful question. First, we have to anchor that A10 is A1 plus 45. Then for either extreme, it's going to be put A1 to A9 equal, put A10 to A2 equal. Both extremes get discovered, and then you can find the minimum and maximum. For the same principal amount, the compound interest for 2 years at 5% per annum exceeds the simple interest for 3 years at 3% per annum by rupees 1125. Then the principal amount in rupees. Very simple question. If the principal were P, amount at the end of 2 years is P into 1.05 whole square. Because 5%, 2 years, minus P, this is compound interest. Simple interest is P into N into R by 100 for 3 years. This is compound interest. Simple interest is P into 3 into 3%. 1.05 whole square is P into 1.1025 minus P. Right? 11025. Yeah. So this is 0.1025 P, whereas this is 0.09 P. You subtract one from the other, just 25. 0.0125 P. 0.0125 P or 125 by 10,000. 10000 times P is 1125. 125 into 8 is 1000. 125 into 9 is 1125. So we can cancel this, make it 9. Or the principal is 9 times 10,000 or 90,000. It really helps to know some numbers. You can do 1.05 whole square is 1.1025. Life is easy. Or plonk in the calculator. Not rocket science. You simplify that, you get the difference. If you know 125 into 8 is 1, is or 0.125 into 8 is 1. 125 into 8 is 1000. Life is simple. Into 9 is 1125. So you can plonk this as 9. 9 into 10,000, 90,000. An absolute sitter, you should be nailing this. Anil buys 12 toys and labels each with the same selling price. He sells 8 toys initially at 20% discount on the labeled price. Then he sells the remaining 4 toys at an additional 25% discount on the discounted price. Thus, he gets a total of rupees 2112 and makes a 10% profit. With no discounts, his percentage of profit would have been. Let's look at this. Let's say his selling price is P. The selling price that is marked on it is P. So he has 12 toys labeled with the selling price of P. He sells 8 toys at a 20% discount, or he sells 8 of them at a price point of 0.8 P. Lovely. Then he sells the remaining 4 toys at an additional 25% discount. 25% is 1/4. Now this 1/4 is on this 0.8 P. 1/4 of 0.8 is 0.2, or he sells for 0.6 P. He sells 4 of these. This is the total amount of money he generates. Right? 8 into 0.8 is 6.4. So this is 6.4 P plus 2.4 P, or he makes 8.8 P. This is his total selling price. And he generates 8.8 times P as a total selling price. And he makes a 10% profit. 10% profit takes him to 8.8 P, or cost price is 8.8 P divided by 1.1, which is 8 P. Lovely. With no discounts, his percentage of profit would have been, his cost price is 8 P. Assume he makes no discounts. He doesn't give any discounts. That means he's selling at P. He's selling 12 goods at P. or he'll make a total of 12 times P. Cost price is 8P. What would have been his selling price? So selling price star, what is imagining is 12P. 8P to 12P, profit of 4P, half of cost price, or profit percentage of 50%. And we don't even need this number. We don't need that 2112. That's just sitting there to mess things up, to confuse us. So 12 toys, 8 he sells at 0.8, 4 he sells at 0.6. These are the kind of questions where if you can think of 20% discount as 0.8, it's useful. A further 25% discount taking us to 0.6 is useful. Get to 8.8p. That is 10% profit, or total cost price is 8p. If you're given no discount, total selling price is 12p, or 4p on 8p. Half his cost price is making us profit, or his profit percentage would have been 50%. The distance from B to C is thrice that from A to B. 2 trains travel from A to C via B. The speed of train 2 is double that of train 1 while traveling from A to B, and their speeds are interchanged while traveling from B to C. The ratio of the time taken by train 1 to that of time taken by train 2 in traveling from A to C is interesting question, simple question. Let's draw the diagram. B to C is thrice that from A to B. So A, B, C. Distance where D, this distance is 3D. The speed of train 2 is double that of train 1 while traveling from A to B. So this is T1, T2. Speed is S, speed is 2S. And their speeds are interchanged while traveling from B to C. So this becomes 2S, this becomes S. The ratio of the time taken by train 1 to that taken by train 2. Train 1 time taken would be, D by S plus 3D by 2S. By train 2 would be D by 2S plus 3D by S. The LCM is 2S. This is 2D by 2S. This is 5D by 2S. This is 6D by 2S. This is 7D by 2S. The ratio of times taken is this is to this, which is 5:7. Simple enough question. Capture it in terms of ratios. Plug in a D, 3D, S, 2S. Be careful with the data. You're through. Two circular tracks T1 and T2 of radii 100 meters and 20 meters respectively touch at a point A. Starting from A at the same time, Ram and Rahim are walking on track 1 and track 2 at speeds of 15 and 5 respectively. The number of full rounds that Ram will make before he meets Rahim again for the first time is interesting question. So let's talk about T1, T2. This has radii 100 meters, this has radii 20 meters. They respectively touch at point A. Starting from A, at the same time, Ram and Rahim are walking on track T1 and track T2 at speeds 15 and 5. So 15 kilometers per hour and 5 kilometers per hour. Key thing here, we've got to calculate the time taken by Ram to complete a lap, time taken by Rahim to complete a lap, and then we'll have to find the LCM of those two times. That's the idea. Right? Now, this has a radii of 100 meters. We'll have to think about 2 pi into 100. This has a radii of 20. We'll have to think about 2 pi into 20. So, time taken is 2 pi into 100 by 15. Remember, this is in meters, this is in kilometers per hour. I don't care. Right now, I don't care. We'll come to how we will fix it. But right now, I don't care. I don't care about the units. That unit is actually hour by kilometers, whatever that unit is. We don't care. I'm not looking to write it in seconds. Right? This one is 2 pi into 20 by 5. Now, what we are trying to do is, if we're going to compare these two, right? The 2 pi gets knocked off. This is 100 by 15. Let's knock it off. This is 20 by 3. This is 20 by 5. Right? So, or this is to that. Ratio of time taken is 20 by 3 is to 20 by 5. Or 1 by 3 is to 1 by 5, or 5 is to 3. Right? So, if Ram takes some 5 units, Sham will take 3 units. call that as units, you don't care. So Ram will come at 5 units here, at 10 units here, at 15 units here. Sham will come at 3 units, 6 units, 9 units, 12 units, 15 units. Why am I stopping with 15? If you call this as 5 units and 3 units, after 15 units of time, which involves a pi and a 5 by 18, 18 by 5, whatever else we want to do, whatever ratios we want to do, after 15 units, Ram will be at the starting point. After 15 units, Rahim will be at the starting point. Both of them meet here. That time, Ram would have done 3 rounds, Rahim would have done 5 rounds. And that's when they'll meet at the starting point again. Or the number of full rounds that Ram will make before he meets Rahim again for the first time. Ram takes longer time. He would have done fewer rounds, 3 rounds. In that time, Rahim would have done 5 rounds. We just need to find the ratio of their speeds. Everything else doesn't matter. A and B are 2 points on a straight line. Ram runs from A to B while Rahim runs from B to A. After crossing each other, Ram and Rahim reach their destination in 1 and 4 minutes respectively. Again, standard question A, B. Ram runs from A to B, Rahim from B to A. Ram and Rahim reach their destinations in 1 minute and 4 minutes. So they meet somewhere here. Ram goes like this and then reaches in 1 minute. Rahim goes like this and then reaches in 4 minutes. Both of them have taken the same time to reach that point. Ram travels for T minutes, Rahim travels for T minutes. Very simple, one crucial point and then we are through. To travel this stretch, Ram takes T minutes, Rahim takes 4 minutes. To travel this stretch, Ram takes 1 minute, Rahim takes T minutes. To travel the same stretch of some equal stretches of distance, time taken by Ram and Rahim should be in the same ratio. It's like saying Ram and Rahim travel at constant speeds. If for a particular distance, the time taken in the ratio of 1:3, some other distance also time taken will be the ratio 1:3. That's all we need to do. Or quite simply, we can say T by 4 equals 1 by T. T square is 4, T is 2. Or they meet after 2 minutes. So they meet after 2 minutes, Ram takes 1 more minute. They meet after 2 minutes, Rahim takes 4 more minutes. The ratio of Ram's speed to Rahim's speed. Ram takes 3 minutes, Rahim takes 6 minutes. Ram is quicker, twice as quick. Ratio of their speeds. Ram's speed to Rahim's speed. Ram is quicker, 2:1. And Ram travels within 3 minutes, Rahim takes 6 minutes. Ram is quicker, is twice as quick, 2:1. Very interesting question, but very routine question. Beautiful question. My question I like because it's a very juicy way of doing this. Right? John takes twice as much time as Jack to finish a job. Jack and Jim together take 1/3 of the time to finish the job than John takes working alone. John takes twice as much time as Jack to finish the job. So say John, Jack. I'm going to talk about how efficient they are. Let's say John takes twice as much time. That means Jack is more efficient. If John can do X units per day, Jack can do 2X units per day. Remember, this is not time, but amount of work done in a day. If John can do X, Jack can do 2X. Jack is twice as efficient as John, which is why John takes twice as much time. Jack and Jim taken together take 1/3 of the time to finish the job than John takes working alone. Jack and Jim 1/3 of the time. We introduce a Jim here. 1/3 of the time to finish than John takes working alone. John does X units per day. These two guys take 1/3 of the time, or they should be doing 3X units of work. John does 2X, Jim should do X. If you think of it in terms of unit of work done in a day, this question becomes very simple. So John does X units, Jack and Jim together should be doing 3X because they are finishing in 1/3 of the time. Jack does 2X, Jim should do the remaining X. Now let's look at the question. In order to finish the job, John takes 3 days more than that taken by the 3 of them working together. 3 of them working together. That is 4X working per day. John takes 3 days more than that. John takes 3 days more. So X into N plus 3 equals 4X into N. n plus 3 is 4n or n is 1. Or when 4x are working, they can do it in 1 day. When x is working, they'll take 4 days. In how many days will Jim finish the job working alone? Jim is x. Jim will take 4 days. When 4x units are working, they can finish it in 1 day. When x units are working, take 4 days. In May, John bought the same amount of rice and the same amount of wheat as he had bought in April, but spent rupees 150 more due to the price increase of rice and wheat by 20% and 12% respectively. Rice, wheat, this is up 20%. This is up 12%. And he ended up spending 150 more. If John had spent 450 on rice in April, then how much did he spend on wheat in May? Very regular question. He spends 450 on rice in April. So this is going to be up 20% because the price of rice is up 20%. 20% is 1/5, or the additional is 90. The extra he spends on rice is 90. The total extra he spends is 150. Extra he spends on wheat is therefore 60. Now the rate at which wheat price increases is 12%. 12% of wheat price is 60, or wheat is 60 by 12%. 60 by 12 is 5. This should be 500. Or in April, he spends 500 rupees on wheat, apart from having spent 450 on rice. Then how much did he spend on wheat in May? In April, he spends 500. In May, he should have spent 12% more. 12% of 500 is 60. We've already seen that. 60 more. 500 plus 60 by 60. Aaron bought some pencils and sharpeners, spending the same amount of money as Aaron. Aditya bought twice as many pencils and 10 fewer sharpeners. If the cost of one sharpener is rupees 2 more than the cost of a pencil, the minimum possible number of pencils bought by Aaron and Aditya together. Very interesting question, slightly not that easy. And so you're buying pencils and sharpeners. Sharpeners, right? Yeah, sharpeners. We're going to talk about Aaron and Aditya. So Aaron bought pencils and sharpeners. Let's say he buys P pencils and S sharpeners. Aditya bought twice as many pencils, 2P, and 10 fewer sharpeners, so S minus 10. The cost of pencil and sharpener were the same, life would have been easy. Right? So it's not the same. The cost of one sharpener is rupees 2 more than cost of a pencil. So cost of one pencil, if it were N, cost of one sharpener is N plus 2. One pencil is N plus 2. Now we should get to writing some equations because the total amount of money spent by both of them is same. P into N plus S times N plus 2 is the amount Aaron spent. 2P into N plus S minus 10 times N plus 2. So what is the extra cost coming to him on account of doubling the pencil is offset on account of buying 10 fewer sharpeners. This P becomes 2P, that's going to increase the cost. S becomes S minus 10, that's going to decrease the cost. This offsets the other, and then we'll find out what the difference is. Fine. So what we have to do now, add these two up, equate one to the other. And so Pn plus Sn plus 2s. Pn plus Sn, this is Sn, remember that, plus 2s equals 2Pn plus Sn plus 2s minus 10n minus 20. So there's the Sn plus 2s which will continue to be there on both sides. There's a 2Pn here, only a Pn here, one of those we can cancel, or Pn equals 10n plus 20. Write that down. Pn equals 10n plus 20. Obviously, there are quite a few values of P and N for this could be satisfied. Goes without saying that n has to be an integer. But let's think about this. Sorry, p has to be an integer. Let's think about this. Can we restructure this equation in some form? Let's bring this over to this side. Pn minus 10n equals 20, or n into p minus 10 is 20. Lovely. This is the number of pencils minus 10. Right? Number of pencils has got to be an integer. Now we want to find the minimum possible value of the pencils bought by Aaron and Aditya together. Aaron and Aditya together, they bought 3p pencils, p plus 2p. We want to find the minimum possible value of 3p, or we want to find the minimum possible value of p. Given what constraint? Given the idea that p minus 10 times n is 20. Right? P has to be an integer. Put p as 11. It cannot be 10 or lower. This will become 0. It cannot be negative. Put p as 11. This becomes 11 minus 10, which is 1. N is 20. 20 into 1 equals 20. P as 11 seems to satisfy this equation for one interesting value of n. So p equal to 11 works. If p were 11, 3p would be 33. That's a choice we're looking for. Lovely, interesting question. We frame the equation, go to the algebra part, equate it, and then finally say, and what combination would p be the minimum? As it turns out, p 11 being the minimum works. 11 is the minimum value p can take, in which case 3p will be 33. A sum of money is split among Amal, Sunil and Mita, A, S and M, so that the ratio of the shares of Amal and Sunil is 3:2. Amal and Sunil is 3:2. While the ratio of shares of Sunil and Mita is 4:5. Sunil is to Mita is 4:5. I already like this. I want to write it as 6:4. The ratio is 6:4:5. The difference between the largest and smallest of these three shares is rupees 400. Largest and smallest is 400. Then Sunil's share in rupees. Difference between this and this is 2 units. 2 units is 400. 4 units is 800. I'm going with 800. Fine. 6 and 4, the difference is 2. Like 2 units of that corresponds to 400. That's the difference. Sunil gets 4 units. It should be 800. Done.
Anil, Sunil and Ravi run along a circular path of length 3 kilometers, starting from the same point at the same time and going in the clockwise direction. So, Anil, Sunil and Ravi, clockwise, this is 3 kilometers. They run at speeds of 15 kilometers per hour, 10 kilometers per hour and 8 kilometers per hour. So, they go at 15, 10, 8. Anil, Sunil, Ravi. It's a 3 kilometer track. How much distance in kilometer will Ravi have run when Anil and Sunil meet again for the first time at the starting point? So 15 and 10 meet again. How much would Ravi have run? So we'll have to see when will Anil and Sunil, A and S, I keep getting confused with the names, meet at the starting point for the first time. So how long will it take Anil to reach the starting point and for Sunil to reach the starting point, and then we find the LCM of those two and then come back to Ravi later on. So 3 kilometer track, Anil will finish it in 3 by 15 hours. Sunil will finish it in 3 by 10 hours. 3 by 15 is 60 minutes. This is 12 minutes. 3 by 10, 60 minutes totally. 3 by 10 into 60, 3 into 6, 18 minutes. We need to find the LCM of 12 and 18. So basically Anil will be at the starting point at time 12, 24, 36, 48. Sunil will be at 18, 36, 54, etc. So at the end of 36 minutes, both will be at the starting point for the first time. So how much does Ravi run in 36 minutes? Ravi runs at a speed of 8 kilometers per hour. 8 kilometers per hour into 36 by 60 hours. 36 by 60 is 3 by 5. 8 by 5 is 1.6 into 3 is 4.8 kilometers. Very routine, simple question. Should be knocking this off. I took a lot of time for this when I was in the exam. I think he had some starting trouble. Dick is thrice as old as Tom and Harry is twice as old as Dick. So Dick is thrice as old as Tom and Harry is twice as old as Dick. Harry, Tom, X, 3x, 6x. As long as we catch this in one variable, these kind of questions become very simple. If Dick's age is 1 year less than the average of all three, then Harry's age in years is Dick's age is 1 less than the average of all three. 3x equals x plus 3x plus 6x by 3 minus 1, or 3x plus 1 into 3 is 10x. 9x plus 3 is 10x. If Dick's age is 1 year less than the average of all three, wonderful, or x is 3. It says 3 years, 9 years, 18 years. Average of all three is 10 years. This works. Harry's age in years is 18. Vimala starts for office every day at 9 a.m. and reaches exactly on time if she drives at her usual speed of 40 km per hour. She's late by 6 minutes if she drives at 35 km per hour. Wonderful, wonderful. I'll straight away like this. I'm going to start with this. Traveling at 40 kilometers per hour, she takes time t. Traveling at 35 kilometers per hour, she takes time t plus 6 minutes. The distance into time is speed. Speed is same. 40 into t is 35 into t plus 6. I know this is in kilometers per hour. I know this is in minutes. Don't care. I just want to be consistent on both sides. At worst, we'll be dividing by 60 on both sides. Doesn't matter. We don't need to do that. So this is 8 t equals 7t plus 42, or t is 42. She takes 42 minutes in this instance, 48 minutes in this instance. I straight away know that. One day she covers 2/3 of her distance to office in 1/3 of her usual time to reach office. Wonderful. So she covers 2/3 in 1/3. So 2/3 of her time, 2/3 of the distance. This she covers in 14 minutes. 1/3 remains. And then she stops for 8 minutes. Wonderful. So she takes a break for 8 minutes. So at the 2/3 point, she spent 14 minutes plus 8 minutes, which is 22 minutes. At the speed in kilometers per hour at which she should drive the remaining distance to reach the office exactly on time. So the remaining distance, what speed should she travel? This is 1/3 of the distance. Don't get into finding even the distance. We can do this just as ratios. 1/3 of the distance. She usually takes 42 minutes to cover the whole distance. So the 1/3 of the distance, she should take 14 minutes. Fine. Now this 14 minutes worth travel at 40 kilometers per hour. She has to now cover this in 20 minutes. How did we get 20 minutes? Her total time taken is 42. She spends 14 minutes covering this, 8 minutes as a break. Totally 22 she has consumed. 42 minus 22 is 20. This 14 minutes she travels at 40 kilometers per hour. This she should cover in 20 minutes. At what speed will she do it? This is the ratio. We don't even have to worry about kilometers per hour and minutes. And 14 into 40 is 20 into what? Luckily, this is just 14 into 2, 28 kilometers per hour. I'm keeping this as minutes and that as kilometers per hour because I'm not really finding the distance traveled. I'm just equating. So this side will be kilometers into minutes by hour. That side will be kilometers into minutes by hour. Funnily enough, that's a good unit. Your units don't have to be in kilometers or meters. Your units have to be the same on both sides. Fine. So kilometers minutes per hour is a legitimate unit. And sometimes the ratio idea works magic. You don't even have to find the actual distance traveled. A and B are two railway stations 90 kilometers per hour apart. A train leaves A at 9 a.m. heading towards B at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. This is 90 kilometers. A train leaves at 9 a.m. traveling at 40 kilometers per hour. Another train leaves at B at 10:30 a.m. heading towards A at 20 kilometers per hour. The trains meet each other at, let's start at 10:30 a.m. That's 1.5 hours, 40 kilometers per hour, 1.5 hours. A would travel 60 kilometers. So A would be at the 60 kilometer point at 10:30. on the first train. I'm calling that A. Fine. So train 1. This is train 2. At 10:30, they are 30 kilometers apart. How would we get 30 kilometers apart? Out of 90, 60 A has traveled. A is traveling at 40. B is traveling at, train 1 is traveling at 40. Train 2 is traveling at 20. So the relative speed is 60 kilometers per hour. They have to travel 30 kilometers. They'll meet somewhere here. They'll meet after half an hour. 30 kilometers by 60 kilometers per hour is half an hour. Half an hour after 10:30, 11 a.m. A person invested a certain amount of money at 10% annual interest, compounded half yearly. After 1.5 years, the interest and principal together became 18,522. Principal into 1.05 whole cube is 18522. That's all this is. 10% annual interest, compounded half yearly. So half yearly interest is 5%. After 1.5 years, that is 3 compoundings, it becomes 18522, find principal. With the calculator, this becomes very easy. We don't have a calculator. P into 21 by 20 into 21 by 20 into 21 by 20 is 18522. 9, 14, 80. This is a multiple of 9. So we can cancel 9 from here. I'm going to do that. 2, 0, 5, 8. This will become 7. This will become 7. 2 plus 8, 10, 15. Again, we can cancel a 3. Make this 7. Divide this by 3. 6. 25, 8, 6. We can cancel 7. 343 is 7 cube. 686 is 2 into 7 cube. Lovely. 2. So the principal is 2 into 20 into 20 into 20. 8,000 into 2, 16,000 rupees. We don't have a calculator, so we're doing this. The exam context, plug this in, get principal done. A man buys 35 kilograms of sugar and sets a marked price in order to make a 20% profit. Wonderful. So he buys and he marks it up by 20%. He sells 5 kgs at this price. So he buys at X. He sells at 1.2x. At 1.2x, he sells 5 kilograms. And 15 kgs at a discount of 10%. 10% discount to this is 1.2x into 0.9 at 1.08x. 1.08x. At this point, he sells 15 kgs. Accidentally, 3 kilograms of sugar is wasted. Oh. So he manages to sell only 32. 3 goes away. He sells the remaining sugar by raising the marked price by P% so as to make an overall profit of 15%. He raises the marked price by P%. Gets to some price. He sells the remaining sugar at that price. So let's think about how much is remaining. 15 plus 5, 20 he has sold. Out of 35, 20 is sold, so 15 remaining. 3 gets wasted, so 12 kilograms. At some price. If we find this, we can find P%. Lovely. He wants to make an overall profit of 15%. That means for the 35 kilograms, he wants to have sold it at an equivalent of 1.15x. Done. We've got all the numbers. This question becomes very simple. How so? He wants to make 35 into 1.15x. He gets 5 into 1.2x plus 15 into 1.08x plus 12 into something. That should be equal to this. We find this something, then we can find P%. Lovely. Again, we don't have a calculator, so I'm going to do the brute force thing. 115 into 35. 5 5 is 25, 5 2, 75, 575, 345, 5, 12 to 110, 0, 1. So this is 40.25x equals 6x plus 15 into 1.08. 15 into 8 is 120 is plus 16.2x plus 12 into whatever this is. So 6 plus 16, 22.2. 40.25 minus 22.2. 0.05 18.05x. 18.05x is 12 into something. Fine. Lovely. 18x if it were. Take it 18x. That is 12 into 1.5. Lovely. So this is 1.5x, maybe a smidgen more than that. Now that 1.5x is got by raising 1.2x by p%. 1.2x jacked up by p% takes us to 1.5x. 1.5x by 1.2x is 5 by 4. It's 1.25. Multiply by 1.25, we get there, or increase by a further 25%. We are through. With calculator, this is that little bit simpler. And you need to be very comfortable with percentages and decimals in order to navigate questions such as these. Get there. Two alcohol solutions A and B are mixed in the proportion 1:3 by volume. A and B 1:3. The volume of the mixture is then doubled by adding solution A such that the resulting mixture has 72% alcohol. So 1 unit of A, 3 units of B, amounting to 4 units of total. The volume is doubled. That means you're adding 4 total units. This is all A. The final mixture has A to be in the ratio 5:3. 1:3 gives us 4 total units. You're adding 4 more units of A. So 5:3 ratio. Resulting mixture has 72% alcohol. A has 60%. How much should B have? This is classic allegations question. 60, 72, difference is 12. 5:3 ratio, this is 12. This should be 20. 72 plus 20, 92. Done. You should be blitzing these questions. A contractor agreed to construct a 6-kilometer road in 200 days. 6 kilometers, 200 days. He employed 140 persons for the work. After 60 days, he realized only 1.5 kilometers was completed. So 1.5, 60 days of 140 people. How many additional people would he need to employ in order to finish the work exactly on time? So let's find out how many people are needed if we get 140 more days. 60 days are over. Totally it takes 200 days. That's what he has committed to. This is 1.5 kilometers. This is 4.5. Overall is 6. This is 4.5. This is 1.5. The questions get very simple when you think about ratios. 1:3 or 140 people working for 60 days or n people working for 140 days. This is 3 times this. Done. 140 people working for 60 days can into 3 is n people working for 140 or n is 180. 140 people are already there. We want to know how many additional people will be required. 40 more. Once again, you should be blitzing these. Very doable. In the final exam, Vishnu scored 52% and Asha scored 64%. Vishnu 52%. Asha 64%. So it's 12% more. The marks obtained by Vishnu is 23 less, and that by Asha is 34 more than the mark obtained by Ramesh. Ramesh is somewhere here. Vishnu got 23 less and Asha got 34 more. We don't care about Ramesh's score. We care that this 57 marks corresponds to 12%. The marks obtained by Geeta, who scored 84%. That's it. 12 into 7 is 84. We just have to do 57 into 7. 7 7s are 49. 9 4. 35 plus 4, 39. 399. Ratios and thinking about structuring it differently makes life a breeze. A batsman played n plus 2 innings and got out on all occasions. The average score of this n plus 2 innings was 29 runs. He scored 38 and 15 in the last 2 innings. So last 2 innings, 38 and 15. Overall average is 29. N innings before that. The batsman scored less than 38 runs in each of the first n innings. In these n innings, its average score was 30 and the lowest score was X runs, average is 30. So total is 30 into n. Average is 29. So total overall total is 29 into n plus 2. Done. We can find n. 30n plus 38 plus 15 is 29 into n plus 2. So 30n plus 53 is 29n plus 58, or n 58 minus 53, which is 5. There are 5 innings beforehand. His average score was 30 and the lowest was X. The batsman scored less than 38 runs in each of the first n innings. First 5 innings. Average is 30, or total in 5 innings is 150. He scored less than 38 in each of the first n innings. Lowest score was X. So what do? We say 5 numbers. Term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4, term 5. Should add up to 150. Each of this is less than 38. We want to find the lowest score. The smallest possible value of the lowest score. These should be as high as possible. Put this at 37, 37, 37, 37, 74, 148. 148 can get accounted by this. Total 150. We should score at least 2 runs in the innings at which he scored the lowest.
Identical chocolate pieces are sold in boxes of 2 sizes, small and large. The large box is sold for twice the price of the small box. The selling price per gram of chocolate in the large box is 12% less than that in the small box. Then the percentage by which the weight of chocolate in the large box exceeds that in the small box is nearest to. Very interesting question. It is sold for twice. So small, large. And price is, if this is X, this is 2X. Nice. The selling price per gram. So let's say we want to do the weight. The weight of chocolate in the large box exceeds that in the small box. Weight, let's say this is 100 and this is Y. And so that we can find the percentage difference straight away. This is a weight 100 and Y. The selling price per gram of chocolate in the large box is 12% less than that in the small box. Price per gram per weight. Right, this is X by 100. This is 2X by Y. Right? This is 2X by Y is 12% less than that in the small box. So X by 100 into 0.88 is 2X by Y. Done. We're through. X by 100 into 0.88 is 2X by Y. The X gets knocked off, or Y equals 200 by 0.88, or 200 by 88 into 100. 100 by 44, 50 by 22, 25 by 11. 25 by 11 into 100. 25 by 11 should be 2 times. 3 by 11, another 2 times. 30 by 11, 22 goes off, another 7. It is 22.7, so somewhere around 227. That's what this number should be, 2.27, 227. So the large box is 2.27 times the small box. Wait, so by what percentage? Then the percentage by which the weight of the chocolate in the large box exceeds that of the small box is 127%. This calculation, this question, I made a huge blunder. I found the answer to be 227. I didn't find it in the choices and then kept doing the question over and over again, which is a shame really, because this is 227% of the weight in the small box, or 127% more. From their part, I think they missed a trick by not including 227 in the choices. I would have marked that straight away and got a -1 for myself. Onion is sold for 5 consecutive months at the rate of 10, 20, 25, 25 and 50 respectively. So month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Price is rupees 10, 20, 25, 25 150. Nice. A family spends a fixed amount of money on onion for each of the first 3 months, then spends half that amount on onion for each of the next 2 months. Nice. Same amount and then half that amount. And so I'm going to take the half that amount thing as 100. I'm going to say amount is 100, 100, 200, 200, 200. Then number of kilograms is 20, 10, 8, 4, 2. Maybe we need not have selected 100 because I selected 50, 50, 100, 100, 100. Life would have been simpler. Numbers are smaller. I plugged in this as 100 because I want a number that's a multiple of all of these. It's becoming 100 into 200. I know I'll deal with the integers. Life is simpler. And then spend half the average expense for onion in rupees per kilogram for the family over these 5 months. Amount spent 600 plus 200, 800. Quantity 20, 30, 30, 40, 44. 800 by 44, which is 400 by 22, which is 200 by 11. 200 by 11 is 18 point something. 18 into 11 is 198, 18 point something. Done. Plug in a number which makes the multiplication or computation simpler. Life becomes easier. Amal purchases some pens at rupees 8 each. To sell these, he hires an employee at a fixed wage. He sells 100 of these pens at rupees 12 each. The remaining pens are sold at rupees 11 each. Then he makes a net profit of rupees 300. While he makes a net loss of rupees 300, the remaining pens are sold at 9 each. Very nice. So 100 he sells at 12. Remaining he spends at 11. He makes 300. If he sells at 11, he loses. Sorry, if he sells at 9, he loses 300. Straight away, it's super useful. If there's a swing of 2 rupees per pen, I go from plus 300 to minus 300. The difference between the amount of money I make is 600. At 2 rupees to the pen, instead of selling at 11, I sell at 9. Or I make 2 rupees per pen lesser in this. 2 rupees per pen lesser, 600 rupees swing, or the number of pens equals 300. 300 into 2 is 600. I'm losing 2 rupees per pen and I end up making a loss of a swing of 600. From making a profit of 300, I go to loss of 300. So if I reduce the price by 2 rupees per pen, I lose 600 rupees, or there are 300 pens. And the wage of employee in INR. So we have to come back to the employee cost. Amal purchases some pens at 8 each. He hires an employee at a fixed age. He sells 100 of these at 12. So let's do this. 100 pens at rupees 12 and 300 pens at rupees 11. So this is 1200. This is 3300. 4500 is the total amount of money he makes. This is a profit of 300. He makes 300 rupees. So his total cost is 4500 minus 300, which is 4200. In selling 400 pens, but he buys them at rupees 8 each. 400 into 8 is rupees 3200. So his total cost of purchase is 3200, but his total landed cost is 4200, or it has cost him $1,000 to sell. Cost of production plus cost of selling is the total cost. Cost of production or cost of making or cost of purchase is 3200, but his total cost is 4200, or the missing $1,000 is the wage of the employee. It cost him 1000 rupees for the act of selling this employee. Anil invests some money at a fixed rate of interest compounded annually. If the interest accrued during the second and third years are 806.25 and 866.72 respectively, the interest accrued in INR during the fourth year is nearest to. Very nice juicy question. Let's say year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Principal, interest, amount. Fine. So this is P. This is P into 1 plus X, where X is R by 100, rate by 100. This is P into 1 plus X. This is p into 1 plus x whole square. This is p into 1 plus x whole square, p into 1 plus x whole cube, p into 1 plus x whole cube, p into 1 plus x whole power 4. You know, the amount moves. Whatever principal was into 1 plus x, the amount. Whatever principal was into 1 plus x, the amount. Whatever principal was into 1 plus x is the amount. And so that's how the compound interest thing works. That's why the compounding kicks in. I have some principal into 1 plus x is my new amount at the end of the year. This becomes a principal for year 2. Then becomes like this. This becomes the principal for year 3. This becomes like this. So what is the interest? Interest here is p into x, year 1. What is the interest here? This is p into 1 plus x the whole square minus p into 1 plus x. This minus this amount minus principal is the interest accrued in the third year, in the second year. Same process here, same process here. Right? So p into 1 plus x whole square minus p into 1 plus x is p into 1 plus x into 1 plus x minus 1, or p into 1 plus x into x. Next year it's going to be 1 plus x whole cube minus 1 plus x whole square. I can extract a 1 plus x whole square outside and then I'll have x remaining. I can extract a 1 plus x whole cube outside, I'll have x remaining. But simply, if I'm tracking only interest, year 1 would be p into x. Year 2 would be p into x into 1 plus x. Year 3 would be p into x into 1 plus x the whole square. Year 4 would be px into 1 plus x the whole cube. The interest accrued in each year, basically a higher base into the same rate of interest. Higher base into the same rate of interest. So if my principal at the beginning of each year goes in a geometric progression, so too will interest. Just whatever the principal is into x is interest. Right? So this principal into x is this interest. Other way of thinking about it. This principal into x is interest. This principal into x is interest. Or the interest is a geometric progression. Right? So we have 806.25. 866.72. What is this number? This number is going to be 866.72 by 806.25 into 866.72. I think this is 1.075 or something, 7.5% interest rate. I don't remember the answer at the top of my head, but this we can compute. The funda is very simple. Just plug it in, calculate the answer. It should be done. I think that this number is 1.075. Multiply by that, whatever the answer is. That's what we're looking at. 86 into 3 by 4. It is 8866 plus this. 64 plus this. 930. This should be the answer. That's my gut feel. The strength of an indigo solution in percentages is equal to the amount of indigo in grams per 100 cc of water. Two 800 cc bottles are filled with indigo solutions. Two 800 cc. One is 33%. Other is 17%. Pardon how it looks, equal volume. 800 cc each. A part of the solution from the first bottle is thrown away and replaced by an equal volume of the solution from the second bottle. The strength of we throw this away and take from this and put into this equally. So this will be back to 800 ml. The strength of the indigo solution in the first bottle has now changed to 21%. This is now 21%. Obviously it will fall. What do? We say, okay, 33% has been mixed with 17% to get 21%. In what ratio would it be mixed? This is 12, this is 4. 4 is to 12 or 1 is to 3. Nice. So 1 is to 3. In the 800 ml of the new thing, 1 should be 33%, 3 units should be 17%. Or in this 21%, this 200 ml of 33% solution and 600 ml of 17% solution. What are the questions? It says, then the volume in cc of the solution left in the bottle. Solution left in the bottle. So we're taking some from here and filling this in. We've taken 600 ml, 800 ml to start with. We've taken out 600, remaining 200 ml will be there. And there's 200. Very nice, very juicy. Amar, Akbar and Antony are working on a project. Working together, Amar and Akbar can complete the project in 1 year. I hate these questions. They can tell us Amar, Bimal and Charles, right? So Amar and Akbar can finish it in 1 year, or what they can do is 1 by 12 months to the year. So they can finish 1/12 of the task in a month. Akbar and Antony can complete it in 16 months, or in 1 month they can finish 1/16 of this. Antony and Amar and Antony can finish it in 2 years, 1/24. Nice. The person who's neither the fastest nor the slowest works alone. The time and months he will take to complete. 1/12 and 1/24 are the two extremes. 1/16 is the middle number. So we are looking at Amar's speed, the missing number. Right? Amar is neither the fastest nor the slowest. Amar plus Akbar can finish 1/12, or the slowest is Antony. Amar plus Antony will take 24 months, or the quickest is Akbar. Or we want to find Amar's speed from these equations. So Amar plus Akbar is this. Add all three up. 2 times Amar plus Akbar plus Antony. The LCM is 48. 4/48 plus 3/48 plus 2/48. Just 9/48, which is 3/16. Just twice of this, or Amar plus Akbar plus Antony, is 3/32. We want to find Amar from this. Subtract this. We are through. From 3/32, subtract 1/16 or 2/32. We'll get 1/32. Or Amar's 1/32, or Amar alone working will take 32 hours, or 32 months, 2 years and 8 months. What are we doing here? Amar plus Akbar in 1 month can finish 1/12 of the task. Akbar plus Antony in 1 month can finish 1/16 of the task. Amar plus Antony in 1 month can finish 1/24 of the task. The numbers, this is the largest, this is the smallest. I don't even have to process this. The middle number is the one where the slowest and the fastest are working together. That means the middle speed guy is this missing guy. So we want to find Amar. Add everything up. We'll get 2 times Amar plus Akbar plus Antony. Divide by 2. We'll get Amar plus Akbar plus Antony. From that, subtract this. We'll get Amar's number, which turns out to be 1/32. Or Amar in a month can do 1/32 of the task. Or to finish the task, he'll take 32 months. Time in months should be 32. Suppose hospital A admitted 21 less COVID infected patients. I remember looking at this question, it should be 21 fewer, not less. COVID infected patients than hospital B. So hospital A, B, number of patients. This is X. This is X plus 21. The sum of recovery days for patients in hospitals A and B were 200 and 152 respectively. Number of days, sum of all, this was 200, this was 152. Nice. If the average recovery days for patients in hospital A was 3 more than, so the average 200 by X and 152 by X plus 21. This was 3 more than this. Average recovery days for patients admitted in hospital A was 3 more than the average in hospital B. Or 200 by X was 152 by X plus 21 plus 3. We spent an inordinate amount of time trying to crack this by finding factors for 200, factors of 152, seeing where they would fit. 152 is a very interesting number. It is 76 into 2, 38 into 4, 19 into 8. So all I thought was, somehow I have to have a multiple of 19. There are only 5, 6 multiples of 19 that work in this territory. That is X plus 21. Find this, it will work. It didn't work. It drove me mad. I don't want to do this the more proper way. 200 by X minus 152 by X plus 21 equals 3. So we'll take a 200 X plus 21 into 200 minus 152x, I'm just cross multiplying, equals 3x into x plus 21. This is 48x, 21 into 200 plus 48x equals 3x into x plus 21. You can cancel a 3, this becomes 7, this becomes 16. 7 into 200 plus 16x equals x square plus 21x. So x square plus 5x minus 7 into 200 equal to 0. 7 into 200, again write it as 14 into 100, 28 into 50, 56 into 25. Take 1 5, put it here, take the 7, put it there, 40 into 35, and then different combinations like that. The difference should be 5. I factorize this, 40 into 35 works well. So x minus 40 into x plus 35, sorry, x plus 40 into x minus 35 equal to 0. X could be minus 40 or plus 35. It cannot be minus 40, it is plus 35. It took me a while to factorize this. Because 7 into 200, I kept breaking it. I always kept both 5s this side. The 2 5s sitting in the product. Put 1 5 here, 1 5 there. That's when the difference can be 5. I should have figured it out. I didn't. Put 1 5 this side, 1 5 that side. It becomes easy to factorize. So x is 35. If you look at this, the number of days here, 200 by 35. And 152 by 56. And so 200 by 35 is 40 by 7. 152 by 56 is 19 by 7. Subtract this. This is 27 by 3, which is wonderful. This is not an integer. The difference is an integer. That's why all my cute methods of trying to find factors where I lost minutes completely came back to bite me. So guessing from the answer, going from the choices, trying to factorize it, thinking about integers, just doing natural numbers, just doing a plug and play. Not only did it not work, it wound me up, lost me time, and stressed me out for the rest of the paper. The amount Nita and Geeta together earn in a day equals what Sita alone earns in 6 days. Okay? N plus G equal to 6S. The amount Sita and Nita together earn in a day equals what Geeta alone earns in 2 days. Sita and Nita, S plus N is 2G. The ratio of the daily earnings of the one who earns the most to the one who earns the least. N plus G is 6S. S plus N is 2G. Subtract this from this, N will go off. G minus S, 6S minus 2G. 3G equals 7S. Nice, we've got one thing going. Plug that in somewhere. S plus N. S is 3 by 7 G. 3 by 7 G plus N equals 2G. N equals 14 by 7 minus 3 by 7 is 11 by 7 G. S is 3 by 7 G. 3 by 7 G. 11 by 7 G. G. Those are the three earnings. This is small, this is high. The ratio of the daily earnings of the one who earns the most to the one who earns the least, 11:3. When I tried to be cute with this, try to do something with integers, I just brute forced it to get the answer. Anu, Vinu and Manu can complete in 15 days. So Anu can do 1/15th of the task. Vinu can finish 1/12th of the task. Manu can do 1/20th of the task. Vinu works every day. Anu works only on alternate days starting from the first day. So Anu works 1, 3, 5. And Manu works only on alternate days starting from the second day, 2, 4, 6. Then in how many days will the task get completed? The number of days needed to complete the work. So odd days, Anu and Vinu work. Even days, Manu and Vinu work. And so odd days, we have 1 by 15 plus 1 by 12. Even days, we have 1 by 20 plus 1 by 12. Or this is 4 by 60 plus 5 by 60, which is 9 by 60. I'm not writing it as 3 by 20, because this is 3 by 60 plus 5 by 60, which is 8 by 60. Nice, wonderful. So odd days 9 by 60 get done, even days 8 by 60 get done. So day 1 9 by 60, day 2 8 by 60, together 17 by 60. Right, so 3 4 same, another 17 by 60. 5 6 same, another 17 by 60. If we add all this, we get 51 by 60. If we go to day 8, it will become 68 by 60, bigger. Day 7, we add another 9 by 60, we have 3. So 9 8 9 8 9. 9 8 9 8 9 8 9. So 4 days of 9 by 60, 3 days of 8 by 60 take us through to 7 days totally is the answer. Two trains cross each other in 14 seconds when running in opposite directions on parallel tracks. The faster train is 160 meters long and crosses a lamp post in 12 seconds. The faster train speed is 160 by 12 meters per second, 80 by 6 or 40 by 3 meters per second. Nice. The speed of the other train is 6 kilometers per hour less than the faster one, kilometers per hour. Difference in the speed 6 into 5 by 18 meters per second or 5 by 3 meters per second. So slower train speed is 5 by 3 less than this, 35 by 3 meters per second. The two trains cross each other when running in opposite directions on parallel tracks. So relative speed is 40 by 3 plus 35 by 3 meters per second, 75 by 3, which is 25 meters per second. Right? And they take 14 seconds to cross each other, or relative distance is 25 meters per second into 14 seconds. 25 into 14, 0, 10, 350 meters. The relative distance is 350 meters. The first train is 160 meters long. The relative distance, they are crossing each other like this. That means this should have come somewhere here. This should have crossed over to this point. Exact same point. So from a point like this, they've crossed over like this. Relative distance is sum of the lengths of the two trains. This is 350 totally. One train is 160 meters long. The other one, the speed of the other train is 6 kilometers per hour less than the faster one. Its length, the remaining 190 meters. From a container filled with milk, 9 liters of milk are drawn and replaced with water. And so from this 9 liters are removed, it becomes water plus milk. Next, from this, let's say the overall container capacity is C, 9 are removed. The same container, 9 liters are drawn again and replaced with water. If the volumes of milk and water in the container are now in the ratio 16:9, so we do it one more time. Do this, then do it one more time. Finally, we have milk is 16, water is 9. Ratio is 16:9. What is the capacity C? Right. Whatever C was, capacity C was there, milk became this into C minus 9 by C. That ratio was taken out. We're taking 9 liters out of that. So milk becomes C minus 9 by C. This stage, again from here, we're taking out 9 liters of the mixture. So we're retaining C minus 9. So whatever milk was there originally into C minus 9 by C will be retained. And then whatever is remaining will become water. So we don't care about water, we just care about milk. From C, C minus 9 is retained. From this, C minus 9 by C is retained. That fraction C minus 9 by C is retained. Why? We're removing 9 liters. C minus 9 is retained. C minus 9 by C of whatever we started off, that much milk will be there. Suppose we're removing half of it. Whatever milk was there, half of that will be remaining. Suppose you're removing 1/3 of that. Whatever milk was there, 2/3 of that will be remaining. Remaining, or C into C minus 9 by C into C minus 9 by C. This is the fraction of milk remaining divided by C is 16 by 25. This is a fraction of milk remaining. Milk by overall. This is the amount of milk remaining. Milk by overall should be 16 by 25. 16 by 16 plus 9. Cancel this off. C minus 9 by C whole square is 16 by 25. C minus 9 by C is 4 by 5. 5C minus 45 equals 4C. Or C is 45 liters. Two trains A and B are moving in opposite direction, their speeds being in the ratio of 5:3. The front end of A crossed the rear end of B 46 seconds after the front end of the train had crossed each other. Very interesting. So let's say this is A. A and B speeds in the ratio of 5:3. Let's say this is B. Nice. Front end of A crosses the rear end of B 46 seconds. So this crosses over. The front end crosses the rear end. So we go to some place like this. This is the rear end of C. From this state to this state, it takes 46 seconds. Very interesting. 46 seconds to go from this phase to this phase. Right? So from the front to front end crosses the rear end of C. So this is the engine of C. Some smoke coming out. Fine. So this takes 46 seconds. It took another 69 seconds for the rear ends of the trains to cross each other. Another 69 seconds for this to go completely here. And to go like that. And 46 seconds to go from this state to this state. Another 69 to go from this state to this state. Right? Very interesting. So train A, this is train B. So train A crosses and goes beyond. The front end of the train A is here, and front end of train A is at the rear end, or the relative distance covered from this phase to this phase. This is length of train B. From here to here, from this rear end goes completely there. So front to rear to rear to rear. This phase, the distance covered is LA. The first phase, the relative distance covered is length of train B. The second phase, relative distance covered is length of train A. From here to here, front to front, and then front to back. So train A is at the beginning of train B. It goes all the way to end of train B. Relative distance, beginning to end, length of train B. Here, train A, the front to back to back to back. The back goes all the way here. So the distance traveled is length of train A. So here the relative distance traveled is length of train B. Here the relative distance traveled is length of train A. This takes 46 seconds. This takes another 69 seconds. So we want to do LA is to LB. The 69 is to 46. The speeds, relative speeds are the same. They're going in the opposite direction. The distance covered will be the ratio of the times taken. The longer distance will take longer time. This took 69 seconds, took only 46. Length of train A to that of train B is 69 is to 46, which is 3 is to 2. Yep, that's that. Beautiful question, because the idea is to grab what exactly is the relative distance. Anil paints a house in 60 days while Vimala can paint it 84 days. Anil starts painting, and after 10 days, Vimala and Charu join him. Together they complete the painting in 14 more days. And so Anil paints for 10 days. And think about in that 10 days, he'll cover 1/6 of it. 14 more days, that is 14 by 60 from Anil, 14 by 84 from Vimal, 14 by C from Charu, covers 5 by 6. Why 5 by 6? 1 minus 1 by 6. Why 1 by 6? 10 days of Anil. And we frame this equation, we are through, we should find Charu, whatever Charu is, number of days of Charu thing. 14 by 84 is 1 by 6. So 14 by 60 plus 14 by C equals 5 by 6 minus 1 by 6, which is 4 by 6, which is 2 by 3. 14 by 60 is 7 by 30, or 14 by C is 2 by 3 minus 7 by 30. 20 by 30 minus 7 by 30, which is 13 by 30. Or 1 by C is 13 by 30 into 14. Nice. The share of Charu in INR proportionate to the work done by him. Nice. So Anil in 1 day does 1 by 14. Vimal in 1 day does 1 by 60. Vimal does 1 by 84. Charu does 13 by 30 into 14. The other way of thinking about this, Charu does 13 by 30 into 14, works for 14 days. Total work by Charu is 13 by 30 into 14 into 14, or 13 by 30 of the total task. 13 by 30 of the total task Charu completes. What is the share he should get? He should get 13 by 30 of 21,000. 700 into 13, just 9,100 done. Once we find CHF mechanical formula. A box has 450 balls, each either white or black. There being as many, so white or black, 450 totally. There being as many metallic white balls as metallic black balls. Metallic white, metallic black. 40% of the white balls and 50% of the black balls are metallic. 40% of W, 50% of B. 40% of W equals 50% of B, or W is 5 by 4 B. W plus B is 450. 9 by 4 B is 450. Or number of black balls, 50 into 4, 200. This is 200. This is 250. This is 100. Non-metallic white would be 150. This is 100. Non-metallic black would be 100. 100, 150, 100, 100. Then the number of non-metallic balls in the box. Non-metallic balls. Then the number of non-metallic balls would be this 150 plus this 100. 250 totally. 40% of the white balls and 50% of the black balls are metallic. And the number of non-metallic balls in the blocks, 150 plus 100, 250 totally. Nice simple question. Anil, Bobby and Chintu jointly invest in a business and agree to share the overall profit in proportion to their investments. Anil's share of investment is 70%. His share of profit decreases by 420. The overall profit goes down from 18% to 15%. And so some amount X they have invested. Instead of getting 18% of X, it goes to 15% of X. Anil's share falls by 420. So Anil's share is 70% of 18% of x minus 15% of x equals rupees 420. This is 3% of x. 70 into 3% of x is 420. 70 by 100. Let's take 70 into 3 is 210. This is 2. So x is 220,000. Lovely. So the total amount they've invested is 20,000, of which instead of 18%, if they say 15%, then 70% of that amount will be equal to 4. That delta is 420. And he'll get 70%. Instead of getting 70% of 18% of x, he gets 70% of 15% of x. So 70% of 3% of x is 420. We find x. That's a starting point. Next step, Chintu's share of profit increases by rupees 80. The overall profit goes up from 15% to 17%. X is 20,000. 15 to 17 is 2% of 20,000 into Chintu's share equals rupees 80. Chintu's share, 2% of 20,000, 2 by 100, this is 400 into C share is 80, or C share is 80 by 400 or 1 by 5. Lovely. Let's do this. So Anil has put 70%. Chintu has put 20%. Who's the remaining guy? Bobby should have put 10% into the business. The total amount invested is 20,000. Bobby has put 10% of that. 10% of 20,000 is 2,000. I've had a tough time figuring out this profit and investment. I'm used to thinking about profit in terms of cost price, selling price, and profit. I didn't understand that they're talking about investment returns rather than investing into a business and generating profits. They're whole different thing. So I was always thinking in terms of there's a total profit that is there of which they take a share. And I didn't understand that this is 15% of investment that is returned. I thought it was 15% of some revenue, and that revenue number was not given. It was an incredibly confusing question for me. So investment generates 15, 17%, 16, 18%, etc., etc., etc. In a football tournament, a player has played a certain number of matches and 10 more matches remaining to be played. So X have been played, 10 remain. If he scores a total of 1 goal over the 10 matches, his overall average will be 0.15 goals per match. 1 overall average is 0.15. On the other hand, if he scores a total of 2 goals over the next 10 matches, his overall average will be 0.2. 1 extra goal increases his average by 0.05. 1 more, an average goes up by 0.05. Our total number of matches is 20. Average increase into total number of matches should be the total increase, or the total number of matches is 20, or this X is 10. Done, we are through. X is 10, 10 plus 10, 10 plus 10. So average goes up by 0.05. So 0.05 into n equals 1. The total goes up by 1, average goes up by 0.05. Average goes up by, the amount average goes up by into total number of events equal to the amount total goes up by, or the number of matches totally is 20. 10 is remaining, 10 is his total. The number of matches he has played, originally 10 he has played, and 10 more matches are yet to be played. He's played 10 and that should be 10. Done. Beautiful question, nice and simple, juicy question. Raj invested rupees 10,000 in a fund. At the end of the first year, he incurred a loss, but his balance was more than 5,000. This balance, when invested for another year, grew, and the percentage of growth in the second year was 5 times the percentage of loss in the first year. The gain of Raj from the initial investment over the 2-year period is 35,000. And the percentage of loss in the first year. Beautiful. Beauty here, we don't need this number. He invested some P. It became P into 1 minus X. And then it became P into 1 minus X into 1 plus 5X. First year, he incurred a loss of some amount. The percentage growth in the second year was 5 times the percentage of loss in the first year. Percentage loss, I'm calling it as x. P into 1 minus x, P into 1 plus 5x. So P into 1 minus x into 1 plus 5x, where x is r by 100, percentage growth by 100, equals 1.35p. Overall return was 35%. 1 minus x into 1 plus 5x equals 1.35. Maybe we can guess from here the percentage loss in the first year be 0.85 into 1.75. That doesn't work. 0.95 into 1.25. No. 0.9 into 1.5. That is 1.35. Is the answer. 10% is 0.1. 1 minus 0.1 is 0.9. 1 plus 0.5 is 1.5. 0.9 into 1.5 is 1.35. That works. We are through. Two pipes A and B attached to an empty water tank are attached to an empty water tank. Pipe A fills the tank while pipe B drains it. If pipe A is opened at 2 p.m. and pipe B is opened at 3 p.m., the tank becomes full at 10. 2 to 8 hours. 8 hours of A plus 7 hours of B fills the tank. B is a negative number, it's draining. Instead, if A is opened at 2 p.m. and pipe B is opened at 4 p.m., the tank gets full at 2 p.m. So pipe A is open for 4 hours, 4A. Pipe B is open only for 2 hours plus 2B is also the tank capacity. Or 8A plus 7B equals 4A plus 2B. 5B equals minus 4A, or B is minus 4 by 5A. 4A plus 2 times minus 4 by 5A is 20A minus 12A by 5, which is the tank capacity. Tank capacity is 8A by 5. 8A minus 7 is 28 by 5. 7 into minus 4 is minus 28. 8A minus 28 by 5. Just check this. I think I made some issue with the numbers. 8A plus 7B is 4A plus 2B. So 4A is minus 5B. B is minus 4 by 5A. Nice. 4A minus 8 by 5A. Sorry. This is minus 8 by 5A. T should be 12A by 5. Wonderful. I subtracted and then put the number in. 20A minus 8A by 5 equals 12A by 5. So the tank capacity is 12A by 5. 8A minus 7 into 4 by 5 should be 12 by 5. 4A minus 2 into 4 by 5 should be 12 by 5. Both should work. Lovely. If pipe B is not opened at all, then the time in minutes taken to fill the entire tank. Watt into A is 12 by 5A. No B at all. The tank capacity is 12 by 5A. This should be 12 by 5. 12 by 5 is 2 by 5. 2.4 hours. 2 hours is 120 minutes. 0.4 hours is 24 minutes. 120 plus 24, 144 minutes. Nice and simple question. All of these questions that there are two different time zones, one open, one closed. Equate the two pipe scenarios and then we are through. A person buys tea of different quantities at 800, 500 and 300 per kg. Price per kilogram 800, 500, 300. And the amounts bought are on the ratio 2:3:5. Amounts 2x, 3x, 5x. She mixes all the tea and sells 1/6 of the mixture at 700 per kilogram. 2 plus 3 plus 5 adds up to 10. It's tougher to do a 1/6. So what I'm going to do, multiply this by 3. Call this as 6 kgs, 9 kgs, 15 kgs. These 3 will add up to 30 kilograms. Let's say she sells 5 kilograms. She'll have some remaining. Lovely. The price in INR per kilogram at which he should sell the remaining to T to make an overall profit of 50%. So he wants to make an overall profit of 50%. Let's start with that. So how much is our cost? 6 into 800 is 4800. 9 into 500 is 4500. 15 into 300 is 4500. Add all of this up. 0, 0, 10, 18, 8, 1, 13800. This 13800 is our cost price into 1.5 is our selling price. She gets this by saying 5 kilogram at rupees 700, remaining 25 at some price. What we need to do is find that price. 1/6 of 30 is 5 kilograms. That she sells at 700. The remaining at some price she sells, we need to find that price. Right? 138 into 3 by 2. 1.5 is 3 by 2. So 6900 into 3. 00, 9 3 is 27, 7 2, 18, 207, 20,700 equals 3500 plus 25x. So from this we subtract this 3500. Bring that this side. 0, 0, 2. 17,200 is 25x, or x is 17,200 by 25. 172 into 4, 8, 8, 688, rupees 688 per kilogram. Luckily, that's there among our choices. That's the number we're looking for. Nice and simple question. Pick the number so that this 1/6 thing becomes easier to compute. If a certain weight of an alloy of silver and copper is mixed with 3 kg of pure silver, the resulting alloy will have 90% silver by weight. Weight of an alloy of silver and copper. So silver plus copper in alloy plus 3 plus 90% silver by weight. This is 90% silver. Okay. So this or Ag plus 3 by Ag plus Cu plus 3 is 9 by 10. Nice. The same weight of the initial alloy mixed with 2 kg of another alloy which has 90% silver by weight. The resulting alloy will have 87% silver by weight. Same weight of the initial alloy. So Ag plus Cu, 2 kg of another alloy which is plus 2 kg, that will be the denominator, which has 80% silver. Ag plus 1.8 equals 84 by 100. 0.84, 84% silver by weight. What we are doing effectively is calculating silver by total. Silver by total is 9 by 10, silver by total is 84 by 100. If we solve these two, we should get silver, copper, weight of the initial alloy is Ag plus Cu, something. And so, forget this equation, I just started off by writing it, we don't have to write that. Weight of silver in alloy plus 3 divided by weight of alloy plus 3 is 9 by 10. Weight of silver plus 1.8. Why 1.8? 90% of 2 by weight of alloy plus 2 is 84 by 100. Cross multiply, simplify. Okay. 10 Ag plus 30 equals 9 Ag plus Cu, 9 Cu plus 27. Ag plus 3 is 9 times copper. 84 by 100 is 21 by 25. So Ag plus 1.8 into 25 is Ag plus Cu plus 2 into 21. 25 Ag, 1.8 into 25 is 45 equals 21 Ag plus 21 Cu plus 42, or 4 Ag plus 3 is 21 Cu. The previous equation was Ag plus 3 is 9 Cu. Ag plus 3 or 4 Ag plus 12 is 36 Cu. 9 is 15 Cu. Copper is 9 by 15, just 3 by 15, 3 by 5, sorry. 4, we also have Ag plus 3 is 9 Cu. We can plug in that. Ag plus 3 is 9 into 3 by 5, which is 27 by 5, which is 5.4. So Ag plus 3 is 5.4. Ag is 2.4. Ag is 2.4, copper is 0.6, 2.4 plus 0.6 is 3. It's an elaborate computation question. Write down the equation carefully, cross multiply, simplify, solve the equation, then we are through. Not such a big fan of these questions because heavily calculation intensive, nothing conceptual. Write down the equation and then cross multiply and solve. They're testing solving rather than funda. But hey, we deal with what we have in front of us. Anil can paint a house in 12 days while Barun can paint it in 16 days. Anil, Barun and Chandru undertake to paint the house for 24,000. Three of them together complete the painting in 6 days. If Chandru is paid in proportion to the work done by him, amount in INR received by him. Anil works for 6 days. So Anil will complete 6 by 12. Barun also works for 6 days. Barun will complete 6 by 16. Remaining is done by Chandru. So subtract that, we'll get the remaining. Then we are through. 6 by 12 is 1 by 2. 6 by 16 is 3 by 8. 1 by 2 is 4 by 8. These two together do 7 by 8. 7/8 of the task Anil and Barun complete. 1/8 is done by Chandru. Remaining. What am I doing? They can do 1/12 of the task in a day. Anil works for 6 days, 6 by 12. Barun works for 6 days. He can complete in 16 days, 6 by 16. Between the two of them, they finish 7/8 of the task in those 6 days. That means the remaining 1/8 is done by Chandu. So he should get paid 1/8 of 24,000. 1/8 of 24,000 is 3,000. Mira and Amal walk along a circular track starting from the same point at the same time. They walk in the same direction. Then in 45 minutes, Amal completes exactly 3 more rounds than Mira. If they walk in opposite directions, then they meet for the first time exactly after 3 minutes. I was put off by this a little bit. If they walk in the same direction, then in 45 minutes, Amal completes exactly 3 more rounds than Mira. But if they walk in the same direction or in opposite direction, in 45 minutes, they can complete only the same number of laps. And so if they walk in the same direction, I just didn't get that. And so let's take Mira takes m minutes for a lap. Amal takes a minutes for a lap. And so in 45 minutes, Mira will do 45 by m laps. Amal will do 45 by a or 45 by a laps. Amal completes exactly 3 more rounds than Mira. 45 by m plus 3 equals 45 by a, or 45 by m, 45 by a minus 45 by m is 3. Nice. They walk in opposite direction, then they meet for the first time exactly after t minutes. And so to complete a lap, Mira takes m minutes, Amal will take a minutes. Or the speed which they travel is lap by m, lap by a. The relative speed will be lap by m plus lap by a. So the time taken for one round will be lap by m plus lap by a. This is equal to 3. Or 1 by m plus 1 by a is 3, or 1 by m plus 1 by a is 1 by 3. After this, solve these two, we can get m and a and then simplify that. This is 45 by a minus 45 by m, or we'll write these two equations down. 45 by a minus 45 by m equals 3. 1 by a plus 1 by m equals 1 by 3. This I'm going to rewrite it as 1 by a minus 1 by m equals 3 by 45, which is 1 by 15. The number of rounds Mira walks in 1 hour is how much? So we want to find m. If I subtract 1 from this, 1 from the other, this from that, then 2 by m equals 1 by 3 minus 1 by 15, which is 5 by 15 minus 1 by 15, which is 4 by 15. Or 1 by m is 2 by 15. or Mira takes 15 by 2 minutes for a lap. She takes 7.5 minutes for a lap. The number of rounds Mira walks in 1 hour. In 15 minutes, she'll do 2 laps. In 1 hour, she'll do 8 laps. The arithmetic mean of scores of 25 students in an exam is 50. So 25 students. Total is 50 into 25, which is 1250. Nice. 5 of these students top the examination with the same score. So we have A. 5 toppers, all equal. The scores of the other students are distinct integers, with the lowest being 30. And the maximum possible score of the toppers is, we want to find maximum of A. Sum of everything is 1250. The smallest is 30. All of these added up together is 1250. This has to be as high as possible. These have to be as low as possible. So the remaining 20 students should have as low a total as possible. They're distinct integers. Are we talking about 30, 31, 32, 33, all the way till whatever the last number is. So 30 to 50 will be 21 numbers till 49. Find the sum of all of this. Add to 5A equated to 1250. We are through. This is an arithmetic progression, 20 terms. Sum of all this will be 20 by 2 into 30 plus 49, or 10 into 79, which is 790. So 5A equals 1250 minus 790, which is 460. 5 times A is 460. A should be 92. Maximum possible value of A. One part of a hostel's monthly expense is fixed, and the other part is proportional to the number of its boarders. Fixed plus variable cost. The hostel collects rupees 1600 per month from each boarder. This is what they get in terms of revenues. When the number of boarders is 50, the profit of the hostel is rupees 200 per boarder. Their cost is 1400 per boarder. They collect 1600, their cost is 1400. So fixed cost plus 50 times variable cost is 50 times 1400. They make 1600 revenue. They make a profit of 200, or their cost should be 1400. 1400 per boarder. There are 50 boarders. 50 into 1400 is the total cost. F plus 50V is 50 into 1400. And when the number of boarders is 75, the profit of the hostel is 250 per boarder, or F plus 75V is 75 into 1350. Why 1350? 1600 minus 250. They make more profit per boarder because the variable cost is one amount. The fixed cost is going to be now distributed among larger number of people. Instead of F being distributed over 50 people, F being distributed over 75 people makes life simpler. F by 75 minus F by 50 minus F by 75 should be the remaining 50 rupees. That difference which they make. When the number of boarders is 80, the total profit of the hostel, if you need to find F plus 80V, you subtract one from the other, we get 25V equals 75 into 1350 minus 55 into this. Or take out a 25, 3 into 1350, 0, 5, 9, 0, 4050 minus 2800. Or 25V is 25 times 1250. Or the variable cost per boarder is 1250. Wonderful. Now we want to do for ATV. What is F plus ATV? F plus 50V is 1400 into 50. Add another 30V. We are through. So this number should be plus 30 times 1250. Whatever this number turns out to be, that will be the total cost they have, subtracted from total revenues they have. We are through. The total cost will be 1400 into 50, 3 zeros, 4 zeros, so 70,000 plus 2 zeros, 3 into 125, 375, 37,500. Add these two up. This is the total cost that they have when there are 80 students. Total revenues will be 1600 into 80. They realize 1600 from each boarder, 80 students, 0, 0, 0, 128. From that, subtract this 128,000 minus 107,000 is 21,000, minus 108 is 20,000, 20,500. That is there. In solve methodically, nothing there. One day Rahul started work at 9 a.m. and Gautam joined him 2 hours later. Then they worked together and completed the work at 5 p.m. That is, Rahul works from 9 to 5, 8 hours. Gautam works from 11 to 5, 6 hours. 8 times what Rahul does per hour, 6 times what Gautam does per hour can complete the task. If both had started at 9 a.m. and worked together, the work would have been completed 30 minutes earlier. That is 7.5 R plus 7.5 G would also complete the task. Equate these two. 8R plus 6G equals 7.5 R plus 7.5 G. 0.5R is 1.5 G, or R is 3G. Rahul is thrice as good as Gautam. Working alone, the time Rahul would have taken in hours to complete the task is working alone. That means no 6G. R is 3G. So 8R plus 6G is 8R plus 2R. 6G is 2R or 10R. Or 10 times Rahul's output per hour can complete the task. Or Rahul will take 10 hours to finish it. Very routine question. Number of hours into per hour output, the total output. And then equate it to whatever task is there. Simplify that. The total of male and female populations in a city increased by 25% from 1970 to 1980. During the same period, the male population increased by 40%, while the female population increased by 20%. So male went to 1.4 male, female went to 1.2 female, male plus female went to 1.25 times male plus female. First of all, if we equate these two, we should get some equation linking M and F. Let's do that. 1.4 M plus 1.2 F equals 1.25 M plus 1.25 F, or 0.15 M equals 0.05 F. 3M equal to F. Number of females is thrice the number of males. Nice. With this, we can treat it as a mixture also, 40% and 20% mixed to give 25%. That's the other approach for this. From 1980 to 1990, the female population increased by 25%. Let's say 1980 to 1990, female population increased by 25%. In 1990, so let's start with this. So 1970, M, F, M equals F equals 3M. 1980, this becomes 1.4M, this becomes 3.6M. 20%, 40%. 1980 to 90, the female population increased by 25%. 1990, this increased by 25%. 25% is 1/4, that is 0.9M. This goes to 4.5M. Nice. In 1990, the female population is twice the male population. The male population should have been 2.25M. Then the percentage increase, the total of male and female populations in the city from 1970 to 1990, or we started at 4M, we end with 6.75M. We want to find the percentage increase. Percentage increase is 2.75 by 4 into 100. 275 divided by 4 goes 6 times 24, 35, 8 times 32, 30, 68.75%, which is there. Very simple question. So the first equation gives you the ratio of male to female population. Track it from 70 to 80, 80 to 90, write down the equation. We are through. In a tournament, a team has played 40 matches so far and won 30% of them. 40 so far and won 30% of them. If they win 60% of the remaining matches, their overall win percentage will be 50%. They win 60%, their overall win percentage will be 50%. You mix 6 and get 30 and 60 mixed to get 50. The ratio in which they should be mixed is 10:20 or 1:2. That means 40 matches have been played, 80 are remaining. Brilliant. One step done. 80 remaining matches, totally 120 matches. Suppose they win 90% of the remaining matches, then the total number of matches won by the team. So 40 matches, they have a 30% win percentage. Remaining 80 matches, they have a 90% win percentage. They got a new coach who's doing wonders with them. Or they win 12 matches and 72 matches. 84 matches totally. Their overall win percentage will be 70%. They win 84 totally. A shop owner bought a total of 64 shirts from a wholesale market that came in two sizes, small and large. 64, small and large. The price of a small shirt was 50 less than that of a large shirt. X minus 50. She paid a total of 5,000 for the large shirts. L into X is 5,000. And a total of 1,800 for the small shirts. S into X minus 50 is 1,800. S can be written as 64 minus L. Then the price of a large shirt and a small shirt together in INR is. So the X number should be less than, should be more than 50. The L, the number of large shirts, should be less than 64. And so this number is less than 64. This is more than 50. And multiplying those two to get 50,000. So it could be 50 into 100. Something like this. So we're factorizing 5,000. L should be an integer. That much we know. X also is likely an integer. Otherwise it becomes tricky. 50 into 100. L is 50. X is 100. 64 minus L is 14 into 50. Nope, this doesn't work. This is not, there's only 700. We need to get to 1,800. So we need to poke around with this. L into X is 5,000. 64 minus L into X minus 50 is 1,800. So we can substitute this, solve this, plug it in here and then simplify. But the price of a large shirt and a small shirt together, this is telling us that we're probably looking at integer answers. 5,000 is 5 into 5 cube into 2 cube. Right, so it can be factorized. Okay, put some parts, it's 2 cube into 5 power 4. I'm going to put some parts here, other parts there. X should be more than 50. So, and L should be less than 64. So we can play around with this. The number of large shirts should be less than 64. The price should be more than 50. So we can find factors of 5,000 less than 54, less than 64, and then try to poke around with it. So 2 cube into 5 power 4. And so I can write this as 2 into something, 2 small, 4 into 8 into, or 10 into remaining 20 into 16 into won't work. Different combination and then see which works. This 2, 4, 8, they're too small. Fine. You see L is less than 64. This X is more than 50. And X should be the remaining 2 square into 5 power 4. It's a very large number. 2 into 5 power 4, very large number. We don't have to worry about it. The number is too large, 1,000 plus price point. 8 into 5 power 4 is 625. Doesn't work. 64 minus 8 is a large number. That number is a very large number. It doesn't work. 10 is 2 into 5 gone. The total product is 5,000. 10 into 500. So 54 into 450, too large. or 1800, doesn't work. 20 into 250. The remaining part would be 44 into 200. That is a large number, doesn't work. So let's see what can be there. We can put 40 into 125. We've skipped 25 into something. 40 into 125. The remaining would be 24 into 75. 24 into 75. There's lots of 3's sitting there. 24 into 75 is indeed 1800. 75 into 4 is 300. Into 6 is 1800. This works. 40 large shirts at 125. 24 small shirts at 75. That works. Otherwise, you have to go to the quadratic and solve it, which is a pain. Having a punt and trying to play around with it is simpler. This number is a multiple of 1800. There should be lots of 3's sitting here. That is another way of going about it. Either break 5000 or break 1800. Then carry on with that. So the price of a large shirt is 125. Small shirt is 75. 125 plus 75 is 200. Yes. A tea shop offers tea in cups of 3 different sizes. The product of the prices in INR of the 3 different sizes is equal to 800. The price of the smallest size and the medium size are in the ratio 2:5. Small, medium, 2x, 5x. The shop owner decides to increase the price of the smallest and the medium ones by 6, keeping the price of the largest size unchanged. This becomes 2x plus 6. This becomes 5x plus 6. The large one remains as large. In this case, the product is 800. In the second instant, the product then changes to 3200. Nice. The sum of the original price of the 3 different sizes in INR, we need to find 2x plus 5x plus L. That's what we need to find. We find x, we are through. 2x becomes 2x plus 6, 5x becomes 5x plus 6, product becomes 800 to 3200. Product becomes 4 times. Or 2x plus 6 into 5x plus 6 divided by 2x into 5x is 4. Right. 2 times x plus 3 into 5x plus 6 is 4 times 2x into 5x. 1, 2 gets cancelled. We have 5x square plus 15x plus 6x plus 18 equals 20x square. Or we can take this side, 15x square minus 21x minus 18 is equal to 0. 15 into 18 is the product. We need to rejig that to get this difference of 21. So 15 into 2 is 30. 30 into 9 works wonders. So 15x square minus 30x plus 9x minus 18 equal to 0. 15x into x minus 2 plus 9 into x minus 2 is 0, or x is 2. We don't have to worry about the negative number. X is 2, or this price is 4, this price is 10. 2 into 2, 5 into 10. 4 into 10 is 40. 4 into 10, 40 into something is 800. 40 into 2 is 80. 40 into 20 is 800. The new prices, 4 would have become 10. 10 would have become 16. This stays as 20. 40 and 160, 4x, everything works. So sum of the original prices, 4 plus 10 plus 20, 34. We are through. The cost of fencing a rectangular plot is 200 per feet along one side and 100 per foot along the other 3 sides. Let's say this is 100 per foot, 100 per foot, 100 per foot, 200 per foot. Let's say this is x, x, y, y. And the area of the rectangular plot is 60,000 square feet. Then the lowest possible cost of fencing all 4 sides in INR. The cost of fencing would be 100y plus 100x plus 100y plus 200x. Or this is 300x plus 200y. Okay. we know that x into y area is 60,000. We want to find the minimum possible value of 300x plus 200y. 300x plus 200y should be as small as possible, and we should have a scenario where, and keeping in mind that x into y is 60,000. And so 300x plus 200y by 2 is greater than or equal to square root of 300x into 200y. 300x into 200y we can find. How do we find that? 300x into 200y, we know xy is 60,000. 300x into 200y we can find. Or the minimum value of this is that, or the minimum value of 300x plus 200y is 2 times square root of that. Let's find that. We are through. The answer we are looking for is 2 times square root of 300x into 200y. X into y is 60,000, which is nothing but 200 into 300. So this is 300 into 200 into 200 into 300. So this is 2 times 60,000 or 1,20,000. Bank A offers 6% interest rate per annum, compounded half early. So Bank A rate is 3% per 6 months. Bank B and Bank C offer simple interest, but the annual rate offered by Bank C is twice that of Bank B. B and C, this is R, this is 2R. These two are simple interest. Remember that. Raju invests a certain amount in Bank B for a certain period, and Rupa invests 10,000 in Bank C for twice that period. Raju in Bank B for a certain period. So Raju B for time period T, Rupa in C for 2 times T. The interest that would accrue to Raju during that period is equal to the interest that would have accrued had he invested the same amount in Bank A for 1 year. And in that time period, same amount as Bank A in 1 year. Bank A in 1 year be P into 1.03 whole square. That's the amount it would have become. This is 1.0609. So 3% compounded squared is 6.09% for the whole year. So this Bank B interest rate is 6.09%. He is putting at 6.09% for T rupees for time T. Bank C is twice that rate for twice the time period. So 6.09% impact will be 6.09% into 2 would be the return that Rupa is the other name, right? Rupa gets. Y into 2, this is the equivalent rate in Bank B, into 2 because Bank C gets twice the rate, into 2 because Rupa is invested for twice the amount of time. That's the amount she get. 6.09% into 4 is 24.36%. Rupa puts in 10,000 rupees. How much should she get? 2436. Irritatingly complicated question. Not a fan, but still we need to power through. A mixture contains lemon juice and sugar syrup in equal proportion. So 1/2 lemon juice or 1/2 sugar syrup. The new mixture is created by adding this mixture and sugar syrup in the ratio 1:3. I'm going to call it 1/2 sugar syrup mixed with 1 sugar syrup in the ratio 1:3. In the ratio of lemon juice and sugar syrup in the new mixture. This is half sugar syrup to 1 sugar syrup mixed in the ratio 1:3. Half plus 3, this is 3.5, 7/2 by 4. This becomes 7/8 sugar syrup. What am I doing? Half into 1 plus 1 into 3 divided by 4. Weighted average of these two. We get 7/8 sugar syrup. That means in this mixture, 7/8 sugar syrup or 1 unit lemon juice and 7 units sugar syrup. Lemon juice to sugar syrup ratio is 1:7. Done. Simple weighted average question, nothing more than that. Trains A and B traveling at the same time towards each other with constant speeds from X and Y respectively. Train A reaches Y in 10 minutes, while train B takes 9 minutes to reach station X after meeting train A. Very nice. So train A, train B. Train A starts from X, train B starts from Y. Okay. Train A goes like this, train B goes like this. Somewhere they meet. Right. Train A, total time taken by train A is 10 minutes. Train B is not 9 minutes for the total distance, but 9 minutes to reach this for the remaining distance. This is 9 minutes. Remaining distance is 9 minutes. Nice. Let's say train B has traveled T minutes to get to this point. T minutes to get to that point. And then 9 minutes to reach the remaining. To get to this point, train B takes T minutes. Train A should have also taken exactly T minutes. Why? Train A and train B meet at that point. They start at the same time, meet somewhere. Let's say they meet after T minutes. Yes, good. After which train A goes on to B, goes on to Y, train B goes on to X. This time is 9 minutes. These two times taken should be equal. Why? They meet at that point. What is this time taken? This is 10 minus T. Nice. After this we are done. How are we done? T by 9 equals 10 minus T by T. A travels this distance in T minutes. B travels this distance in T minutes. And so the ratio of their speeds is the same. It should be the ratio of their times. So T minutes A takes to travel, B takes 9 minutes for it. 10 minus T minutes B takes to travel, A takes to travel, B takes T minutes for it. Or ratio of the time taken should be the same. T by 9 equals 10 minus T by T. T square equals 9T minus 9T. T square plus 9T minus 9T equal to 0. 15 into 6 is 90. T minus 6 into T plus 15 is 90 is 0. Or T could be minus 15, that's not possible. Or 6 minutes. This is 6 minutes. This is 6 minutes. This is 4 minutes. 4 by 6 is 6 by 9. We are through. Let's look at this. Then the total time taken in minutes by train B to travel from station Y to X, 6 plus 9, 15 minutes. The time taken to travel by A, these two time taken to travel by B is the same. As long as the distance is the same, this by this equal to this by this. Plonk in that ratio, we are through. The average of 3 integers is 13. When a natural number n is included, the average of these 4 integers remains an odd integer. Nice. 3 integers is 13. Let's say I1, I2, I3. Average is 13. A fourth number comes, I4. Average remains an integer. If fourth number were 13, average would be 13. Fourth number is more than 13, average will increase. Fourth number is less than 13, average will decrease. It remains an integer. So excess brought in by the fourth number should be equally distributable across these fellows. That means whatever I bring more from I4, I can distribute across all 4. If it has to remain an integer, I can add 1, 1, 1, 1, or I4 could have brought 4 more than 13. If I4 brings 13, overall average is 0. Sorry, overall average is unchanged, 13. If I4 brings 17, it will become 14. If it becomes 21, it will become 15. 4 more, average will go up by 1. Another 4 more, average will go up by 1 more. The average of these 4 integers remains an odd integer. So it's not just 4 more, I should bring 8 more. 21, 29, 37. All of these, the average will go from 13, 15, 17. Right? The minimum possible value of n is 21, we'll take it to 15. The question says that it remains an odd integer, but hey, it's not saying the integer is the average has increased, it brought lesser also. But 9, oops. If I4 brings 9, average will become 12. If I4 brings in 5, average will become 11. If it brings in 1, average will become 10. You cannot bring in less than 1. the average of 3 integers, natural number. The fourth one is I4, fourth integer is a natural number. You cannot bring less than this. It's an odd integer, so hey, I should not include these numbers. So you can bring in 5 and the average could go to 11. The minimum possible value of n or I4 is 5. They're effectively saying 39 plus n by 4 is equal to an integer. It's an odd integer. 39 plus 1 by 4 is 10, doesn't work. 39 plus 5 by 4 is 11, that works, we are through. That's all we're doing, nothing more than that. Pinky is standing in a queue at a ticket counter. Suppose the ratio of the number of persons standing ahead of Pinky to the number of persons standing behind her in the queue is 3:5. This Pinky, the queue is this way, 3x people ahead of her, 5x behind her. Total number of people in the queue is less than 300. So total number of people is 8x plus 1. 8x people plus 1 is less than 300. What are the maximum possible number of persons standing ahead of Pinky? Very regular question. 300 divided by 8, long 13, goes 3 times 24, 60, 7 times 56. So we could have 297 people. It's a maximum, which is of the form 8x plus 1, in which case 296 into 3 by 8. What this will be? 296 by 8 is 37, 37 into 3 is 111. It should be 185. Add this up, it gets 296 plus 1, 297. That works. Anything more is not possible. 111. This question drove me mad. This question drove me mad properly when I tried solving it. I kept looking for cute methods. They just weren't there. Right? Let's attack this. And if Ankita buys 4 kilograms of cashews and peanuts, she buys 14. And almonds, she buys 6 kgs of. The cost of 7 kilograms of cashews, 7C, is equal to 30P, 30 kilograms of peanuts, equal to 9 kilograms of almonds. She mixes all the 3 nuts and marks the price for the mixture in order to make a profit of 1752. And 1752 is the profit she wants to make. How many kilograms she has? 4 plus 14 plus 6, 18 plus 6, 24 kilograms. And she wants to make a profit of 1752. That much profit, that much money she wants to make. Which is rather nice. She sells 4 kilograms of the mixture at this mark price and the remaining at a 20% discount on mark price. That's making a profit of 744. She wants profit of 1752. She gets a profit of 744. So she falls short. Why? Because she's not selling the whole thing at some rate. She's selling 20%. She sells 4 kilograms at this price and remaining at a 20% discounted mark price. And that delta is 1008. Totally there are 24 kilograms. Remaining 20 kilograms, she sells at a discount of 20% of mark price. That will be her deficit, shortfall. So 20 kilograms and 20% discount of mark price gives us 1008. So let's find mark price from here. 20 into 20% of mark price equal to rupees 1008. Mark price per kilogram of the mixture. That's what we know. 20 is 1 by 5. This is 4 times mark price equals rupees 1008. 502 divided by 2 is 504, 252, or mark price per kilogram is rupees 252. Brilliant. He's selling 24 kilograms. He wants to sell 24 kilograms at this price. If he had done it, then she would have got 1752 as profit. She's not able to. She discounts and sells this and therefore makes 744 profit. Now what do we need to find? The amount in rupees that she had spent in buying almonds. To find this amount she spent in that, for which I think we'll have to use this. 7C equal to 30P equal to 9A. I'm going to make this to be equal to some other number to get the ratio. And so 7 and 30 are co-prime. 7 into 30 is 210. Another 3 here, which takes us to 630. I'm going to call this equal to 630k. Or C, price of cashew, 630 by 7, 90k. Price of peanuts is 630 by 30, 63 by 3, 21k. Price of almond, 630 by 9, which is 70k. The per unit pricing is in the ratio 90 is to 21 is to 70. 90k, 21k, 70k. That's a per unit pricing. Right? So, and then we'll have to do into 24 kilograms. Think about profit going to 1752, and then come back to this proper pain in the neck. Right? So, but let's attack it. So I'm going to rewrite this question. Cashews 4 kilograms, peanuts 14 kilograms, almonds 6 kilograms. Per kg, on a per kg price per kilogram, this is 90k, 21k, 70k. 90k, 21k, 70k. So how much does she spend? She spent total of 360k. 14 into 21, 14 ones are 14, 4 1, 14 twos are 20, 14 twos are 28, 29, 294. This is 420. We add these three. This is 4, 11 plus 6, 17, 7, 1, 4 plus 2, 6 plus 4, 10, 1074k. That's the total amount of money she spent, of which almonds alone is 420. Nice. Now we still not done it. We need to find the amount of money she has spent. This amount of money she has spent, and then she makes the total amount of profit she makes is the total cost. Sorry, what do we do here? Give me a second. Total makes a profit of 1752 by marking it up at 252 per kilogram. So 252 into 24 is the total selling price. And then our total profits is 1752. Subtract this from this, we'll get total cost price. That number equal to 1074k. From that, we'll have to find 420k, which happens to be the amount of money she spent in buying almonds. So it's a right royal pain in the neck. So let's figure this out. 280, 294, everything seems to be fine so far. I don't think we've made any computation mistake yet. So 252 into 24, 24 twos are 48, 8, 4, 120, 124, 4, 12, 48, 60, 6048 minus 1752. This is 8 minus 2 is 6, 15 minus 5 is 9, 9 minus 7 is 2, 4 minus 1 is 3, 5 minus 1 is 4, sorry, 4296. Our total cost price is 4296, and that is 1074k. We need to find 420k. Our cost of all the almonds is 420 by 1074 into 4296. This is a lovely idea here. 74 into 4, 70 into 4 is 280 plus 16, 296. Lovely. Despite this is 420 by 4 is 840 into 2, 1680. Finally, we get lucky. 1680. Absolutely painful, really brute forcey question. We've taken this question in the exam. We're in for it. I tried for a bunch of iterations and trying to get cute methods. I didn't find any cute method. I doubled down and said, look, there aren't any cute methods. Let me put fight, let me hang in there and do something. And then I brute force my way into step by step getting this ratio, plugging this ratio back in, finding the overall cost, finding the mark price, then doing the whole shebang. Super tough question. In a village, the ratio of number of males to females is 5:4. Nice. Males, females, 5x, 4x. The ratio of number of literate males to literate females is 2:3. 2y, 3y. Ratio of number of illiterate males to illiterate females is 4:3. 4z, 3z. 3,600 males in the village are literate. This is 3,600. That means this is 5,400. Then the total number of females in the village, we need to find 4x. We know this is 3,600, this is 5,400. We know 3,600 plus 4z, 3,600 plus 4z by 5,400 plus 2z is equal to 5 by 4. 5,400 plus 3z. This plus this is to this plus this is 5:4. Solve for that, we should get z. Then we'll go step by step and find, include y, find x, all of that. The total number of females in the village, we need to find this number. We need to find 3y plus 3z. Right? Lovely. How do we do this? Cross multiplying. This is 14,400 plus 16z is 5,400 into 5, just 27,000 plus 15z. Z equals 27,000 minus 14,400. This is 600. 6 minus 4 is 2. 12,600 is Z. What do we need to find out? Total number of females in the village. 5,400 plus 3Z. We need to do 3 times this into 3. 78. 37,800 plus 5,400. 0, 0, 2, 8 plus 5 is 3. 43,200 females are there totally in this place. That's a nice, beautiful ratios question. Write down the data properly and then you're through. Answer is 43,200. Amal buys 110 kilograms of syrup and 120 kilograms of juice. So, syrup 110 kgs, juice 100 kilogram. Syrup being 20% less costly than juice per kilogram. So price per kilogram, this is 0.8x, this is x. He sells 10 kg of syrup at 10% profit and 20 kg of juice at 20% profit. So he sells 10 kilograms at 0.88x, 20 kilograms at 1.2x. So he gets 8.8x plus 24x. X being the price per kilogram of juice. Mixing the remaining juice and syrup, that is, what is remaining? From 110 he has sold 10, so he has 100 kgs of this. 120 kilograms of juice he had to start with. This is 120, he sells 20, 100 kilograms of juice. Nice, this is a beautiful number. 100 kgs of syrup, 100 kgs of juice. He mixes the remaining and sells the mixture at 308.32 per kilogram. Makes an overall profit of 64%. Remaining, he makes an overall profit of 64%. Beautiful. So what is his overall cost? Overall cost is 110 into 0.8, which is 88x, plus 120 into x, 120x. This plus this is 208x. Overall cost. Overall profit is 64%. So overall selling price, let's say, is 208 into 1.64 x. 64% profit, cost price into 1.64 should be selling price. I don't have a great fashionable method for this. I'm going to brute force this. 4 8s are 32, 2, 3, 8, 32, 6 8s are 48, 8, 4, 1, 2, 4, 8, 2, 0, 8, 2, 1, 1, 9 plus 4, 13 plus 8, 21, 1, 2, plus 2, 4. He gets 341.12x. This is his overall selling price. He has made this much money. Now, he's already made this much by selling this 10 kg and 20 kg. That adds up to 32.8x. So we'll take that. From here, we'll subtract 32.8x. Nice. This is the remaining selling price. Selling price of the remaining. What is remaining? 100 kgs of syrup and 100 kgs of juice. Subtract this from this. This is 2. 11 minus 8 is 3. 10 minus 2 is 8. This is 0. 308.32x. Nice, brilliant. I'm really glad my eyes lit up when I saw this number because I've seen this. What is this equal to? It is 308.32 into 200. Why 200? The per kilogram cost is selling at 308.32 per kilogram. How many kilograms does he sell? 200 kilograms. Why? That's what is remaining. 100 plus 120 he sells of 30. There's 200 kilograms remaining. That much 308.32 into 200 is 308.32x. Really glad to see this. X is 200. Or the per kg cost of juice is 200x. Amal's cost price for syrup in rupees per kilogram is 0.8x. 0.8 into 200, 160. Pain in the neck question because it's so time consuming to be very careful with detail. Just going over this one more time. Cost is 0.8x and x. Total quantity is 110 and 120. 10 kilograms are sold at this, 20 kilograms sold at this. Total price realized, selling price realized is this much. Total cost price is 110 into 0.8 plus 120 into x. This much. What is remaining is 100 of each. Profit is 164%. Or total selling price is realized is 208x into 1.64. Which is this, of which the first 30 kilograms gives us this. Remaining is this. That remaining should have been got by selling 200 kilograms of the mixture at this price. Thankfully, we have 308.32, a pesky 308.32 on both sides. That goes away. We get excess 200. 0.8x is 160. Alex invested in two parts. So simple interest earned in the first part at 15% annum for 4 years. Simple interest 15% into 4 years is the same as a simple interest under the second part at 12% for 3 years. So this principal 1 into this equals principal 2 into this. P1 into 0.6 is P2 into 0.36. This into 60 is that into 36. This into 5 is that into 3. Or the ratio of the principals is 5:3, 5k and 3k. Then the percentage of savings invested in the first part. So the ratio is 5:3. Sorry, P into 0.6 is P2 into 0.36. So sorry, it's not 5:3. P1 by P2 is 3:5. 3k is to 5k. P1 into 5 is P2 into 3. Or P1 is to P2 is 3 into 5. 3 into 5 is 5 into 3. P1 is to P2 is 3:5. The percentage of savings invested in the first part is 3/8. 3/8 is invested. 1/8 is 12.5. 3/8 is 37. If I had written the other way around, I would have got this answer. I got myself -1 instead of +3. And so jot it down to old age, you should get it right. The average weight of students in a class increases by 600 grams when some new students join the class. The average weight of the new students is 3 kilograms more than the average weight of the original students. And the ratio of the number of sides. Original students have this average. New set of students bring in an average of A plus 3. The weighted average now becomes A plus 0.6. The weighted average is closer to this than that. This difference is 0.6. This difference is 2.4. Like mixtures and alligations, mix A and A plus 3 to get A plus 0.6. We should be mixing in the ratio 2.4 is to 0.6 or mixing in the ratio 4 is to 1. The ratio of number of original students to the number of new students, original to new, 4 is to 1. That a classic question of weighted averages. Existing average You guys, weighted average, we are through. Ratio should be 4:1. Working along the times taken by Anu, Tanu and Manu to complete any job are the ratio 5:8:10. They accept a job which they can finish in 4 days if they all work together for 8 hours per day. That is 4 into 8, 32 hours. And remember, this is the ratio of the times taken. So, Anu, Tanu, Manu, time taken, ratio 5:8:10, or their efficiency or extent to which they do, not even going to write efficiency, tasks per day or task per unit time. This is 1/5 is to 1/8 is to 1/10. Very simple funda. If you take 5 days to finish a task, in 1 day you can finish 1/5 of the task. If you take 8 days to finish a task, in 1 day you can finish 1/8 of the task. If you take 10 days to finish a task, in 1 day you can finish 1/10 of the task. So if you take 5 days, 8 days, 10 days, then in 1 day you finish 1/5, 1/8, 1/10. This is what you get done in 1 day, 1 unit of time. Lovely. So 1/5 is to 1/8 is to 1/10. LCM of 5 and 8 is 40. It's a multiple of 10 also. So multiply by 40. I'm going to take this ratio and multiply by 40. Why am I doing that? I really like dealing with integers, not with this 1/5 business. 1/5 into 40 is 8. 1/8 into 40 is 5. 1/10 is 40. This is the ratio of the rates at which they work. Or Anu does 8x units of work. Tanu does 5x units of work. Manu does 4x units of work in per time for 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever that measure of time is. And then how long do they work for? They accept a job which they can finish in 4 days. They all work together for 8 hours per day. That means if I think of it as 8x, 5x, 4x, all three put together, 32 hours, they can finish the task. 8x plus 5x is 13x plus 4x is 17x. 17x into 32 is a total task. That's a task ahead of them. However, Anu and Tanu work together for the first 6 days, working 6 hours 40 minutes per day. Anu and Tanu, these two only, that is 8x plus 5x, this is 13x. They work 6 hours and 40 minutes per day for 6 days, or number of hours is 6 into 6, 2 by 3. 40 minutes is 40 by 60, 2/3 of an hour. 6 hours to 6, 2 by 3 hours. This is 20 by 3, 6 into 20 by 3, which is 40 hours. So what they do is 13x into 40. I'm guessing this is less than that. Otherwise they would have finished the entire task before that. What is the question then? Then the number of hours that Manu will take to complete the remaining job working alone was nice, simple. So the 17x into 32 is the size of the task. 13x into 40 gets done by these two in 6 days, working 6 hours 40 minutes per day. You find the difference. This is what Manu completes. So 17x into 32, 17 twos are 34, 4, 3, 51 plus 3, 54. 13 into 40 is 520. This is 544x, 520x. 24x is what Manu does. What can Manu do? Manu does 4x in 1 hour. 24x, he'll take 6 hours. 4x into 6. This 24x is 4x into 6. 4x units per hour, 6 hours Manu work. Lovely question, but very time consuming question. You have to go from time to rate, get the ratios, define the total task, find out what has been completed, get to the remaining, again get to the number of hours Manu works. A beautiful question. If A and B are non-negative real numbers such that A plus 2B is 6, then the average of the maximum and minimum possible values of A plus B is. We know that A plus 2B is 6. We want to find the maximum and minimum possible values of A plus B. Seems like a tricky question, but that's actually a freebie. Right? They are non-negative real numbers. This A plus 2B, I'm going to break this as A plus B plus B. That's it, done, we're through. We want to find maximum and minimum values of this. This is maximum, that should be minimum. This is minimum, that should be maximum. What is the minimum value B can take? Non-negative, minimum value B can take? 0. Non-negative, it can't go below 0. What is the maximum value B can take? B is maximum, A should be minimum. Put A as 0 because A cannot be less than 0. Put A as 0, B is 3. Done, we are through. If B is 0, then A plus B is 6. If B is 3, A plus B is 3. 6 minus 0 is 6, 6 minus 3 is 3. Or A plus B maximum value is 6, A plus B minimum value is 3. You want to find the average of the maximum and minimum possible values of A plus B. Average of 6 and 3, 6 plus 3, 9 by 2, 4.5. Done. Thinking about A plus B is tricky. Thinking about B is super simple. This is minimum, this is maximum, this is maximum, this is minimum. Done. Through. Manu earns 4,000 per month and wants to save an average of 550 per month in a year. In the first 9 months, his monthly expense was 3,500 and he foresees that 10th month onwards, his monthly expense will increase to 3,700. In order to meet his yearly savings target, his monthly earnings in rupees from the 10th month onward should be. Nice. For the first 9 months, he saves 500 bucks. And I'm going to break this as 9 months and 3 months. 4,000 minus 3,500 happens for 9 months, or he saves 500 into 9. He wants 550 into 12. I'm going to break it as 550 into 9, 550 into 3. I can do this very algebraically with a big equation, but I'm going to do it more intuitively. Or he falls short by 50 bucks in each month. Or total deficit is 450. 50 into 9. He wants to make this up there. 50 into 9, 450. This is delta. He has 3 months to make it happen, or each month he can make up 150. We're talking about averages. 150, 150, 150 is true. He anyway wants to say 550. He needs to make 150 more than that, or he has to do 700 into 3. This 700 is 550 plus 150. Where does that 150 come from? 450. His deficit is 450. He has to make that up in the last 3 months. 3 months, 150, 150, 150, each month 150, that will come. Or he needs to save 700 rupees per month in the last 3 months. His monthly expense will go to 3,700. His income should be 3,700 plus 700, which is 4,400. Again, a freebie question should be setting it up and knocking it out. The two containers of the same volume, first container half filled with sugar syrup and the second container half filled with milk. Half the content of the first container is transferred to the second container. Then half of this mixture is transferred back to the first container. Then half the content of the first container is transferred back to the second container. We stop there, luckily. Then the ratio of sugar syrup and milk in the second container is two containers, the same volume, half filled with sugar syrup and half filled with milk. Container 1, container 2. Let's say X of sugar syrup, X of milk. Then what do? We transition from here to here. When we do that, at step 2, this will become sugar and milk. Sugar will become X by 2, no milk. Sugar is to milk. Sugar will become X by 2, milk continues to be X. And then we shift from here to here. So what will get added? This is first shift is done. Second shift, when we do this, half of X by 2 will get added here, X by 4. Half of X will come here, X by 2. Then get this and shift there. I'm doing this straight away. I notice that I'm going to deal with X, X by 2, and then X by 4, maybe X by 8, one more step. I'm thinking about this and saying, look, I'm dealing with this 1 by 2 business. I'm going to simplify this. Say all remains the same. Container 1, container 2. This has sugar to start with of say 8x. Milk to start with of 8x. Half of this goes here. So step 1, step 2, step 3. I'm going to track sugar is to milk, sugar is to milk. After the first transfer is made, this becomes 4x and 0. This becomes 4x and 8x. Step 2, sugar and milk. From 4x and 8x, half and half come here. Same ratio it will come back to. 4x by 2 is 2x. Sugar will become 4x plus 2x, 6x. Milk will become 8x by 2, 4x. Here, what will be remaining, sugar is to milk, will be 2x and 4x. Adding up to 10x, adding up to 6x, total 16x. That's what we start with. One round of check, all good. Now what do? We send from here to there. 6x will become 3x, 4x will become 2x. Sugar to milk, 2x plus 3x is 5x, 4x plus 2x, 4x plus difference 2x is 6x. This is 11, this is 5, adding up to 16. That also seems to work. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Ratio of sugar to milk in the second container at the end of this 5:6. Done. Not too difficult. We need to do it methodically. It really helps. We take the first two numbers to be 8x and 8x and not x and x. In an election, there were 4 candidates and 80% of the registered voters cast their votes, not casted their votes. One of the candidates received 30% of the cast votes, while the other 3 candidates received the remaining cast votes in the proportion 1:2:3. The winner of the election received 2512 votes, more than the candidate with the second highest, and the number of registered voters was. Registered voters, so some number of registered voters are there. So this is T. 80% of them cast their votes. CAST, not talking about CASTE, although in election context that seems like, hey, that's something people talk about. Right? We're talking about cast votes, not cast votes. So one of the candidates received 30% of the cast votes. So we call this as X. One guy gets 30% of X, while the other 3 candidates received the remaining cast votes in the proportion 1:2:3. So remaining is 70% of X. That gets broken in the ratio 1:2:3. So this 30% goes to one candidate, 70% goes in the ratio 1:2:3, or that these 3 candidates will get 70/6%, 70 into 2/6, 70 into 3/6. These 3 fellows. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6 units. Break 70% into 6 parts. 1 part, 2 part, 3 parts. 3 out of 6 is half. 2 out of 6 is 1/3. 1 out of 6 is 1/6. So this guy gets 70% by 6. This guy gets 70 into 2/3. This guy gets 70 into half. This is 35%. I'm very interested in this. Why? Because then that means this guy has won the election. This guy has already got 30. That guy has got more than 30. 35%. This is going to be less than 30%. That I know. 70% by 3. This is half of that. Much lesser. Or the guy who won the election won 35% of the total cast votes, and the guy who came second won 30% of the total cast votes. Or the difference between these two is 2512. 5% of X is 2512. You're true. X is the total votes cast. 5% is 1/20, or X is 2512 into 20. We want the total number of registered voters. Registered voters is 80% of the registered voters is X, or 4/5 of total registered voters is 2512 into 20, or total number of voters is 2512 into 20 into 5/4. 20 into 5 is 100, easy to multiply. Do 2512 by 4 into 100. 2512 by 4, 2512 divided by 4, 6, 11 makes it 232, 628 into 100, 62800 is the number we're looking for. Methodically go for it, nice and simple, crack it. Next one. Oh, it's a beautiful question, super challenging. In an examination, there were 75 questions, 3 marks were awarded for each correct answer, plus 3 for correct answer. 1 mark was deducted for each wrong answer, and 1 mark was awarded for each unattempted question, not attempted. Right? Plus 3 minus 1 plus 1. Right? So Ryan scored a total of 97 marks in the examination. The number of unattempted questions was greater than the number of attempted questions. This, let's say x, y, z. Z is greater than x plus y. All 3 put together is 75, or z is more than half of it. 38 or more, 37 or less. X plus y could be 37, z could be 38, 38 or more, 37 or fewer. At least 38 questions were unattempted. And that's what we know. Then the maximum number of correct answers that Ryan could have given in the examination total is 97, getting 97 marks totally. So we can say 3x minus y plus z equals 97. We know x plus y plus z is 75. We know z is greater than or equal to 38. So this is where we stand. And so there's a beautiful way of kind of tackling this, simplifying this. This is a plus 3 minus 1 plus 1. Generally in our world, unattempted questions are given no marks. So we say 75 totally. Every question you get some mark. That's a given. So I'm going to remove that from the equation completely. I'm going to alter this equation dramatically. I'm saying instead of getting plus 3 minus 1 plus 1, I'm a strict teacher. I walk in and I say for every question I remove a mark. Every question I remove a mark. That is, every plus 3 will become plus 2. Every minus 1 will become minus 2. Every 1 will become 0. Unattempted questions, you get 0 marks. I'm removing a x, y, z totally from it. From this, we subtract x plus y plus z. Algebraically, what are we doing? We're subtracting this equation from this. 2x minus 2y equals 22. Conceptually, what are we doing? We're removing 75 marks. Each question we are cutting 1 mark. Or the total mark is not 97, it's only 22. You get 2x minus 2y equals 22. 2x minus 2y is 22. Or x minus y is 11. Right? We want the maximum possible value of x. And x plus y can be a maximum of 37. This is a maximum value. X plus y maximum is 37. How do I know that? Because this total z is more than x and y put together. So if x plus y is higher, that's when x can be higher. Add these two. So the maximum value is 2x is 48 or x maximum is 24. We know x minus y is 11. That much we have figured out. We've got. We can figure out now that x plus y maximum is 37. Only if x plus y is higher, x plus y can go to, the higher x can be. Maximum it can go to is 37. 2x is 48, x is 24. X is 24, that gives y as 13. 24 correct answer, 13 incorrect answers, adding up to 37, 38 unattempted. That will give us answer. Or the maximum number of correct answers that Ryan could have given in the examination is 24. 24 into 3 is 72 plus 13. 24 into 3 is 72 plus how much is this? 13 into 1. 13 into minus 1 and then remaining 38 into plus 1 should add up to 97. 5 students including Amit appear for an examination with possible marks in which possible marks are integers between 0 and 50, both inclusive. Average marks for all the students is 38 and exactly 3 students got more than 32. If no student got the same marks and Amit got the least marks among the 5, then the difference between the highest and lowest possible marks of Amit is nice. So S1, S2, S3, S4, A. Amit is the least. Exactly 3 students got more than 32. These 3 have got more than 32. Nice. And Amit got the least marks. S4 should be less than or equal to 32. These 2 are more than 32. Exactly 3 got more than 32. This could be 32. That's the situation we have now. Average is 38. Nice. First we want to find Amit maximum and Amit minimum. Both of that we want to find. Let's think about Amit maximum. S4 maximum can be 32. I want to put S4 as 32. Amit maximum is 31. These three are all greater than 32, greater than 32, greater than 32. 32 plus 31 is 63. Total is 190. Why 190? 38 into 5. From this you subtract 63. 7, 127. 127 broken into 3 parts. Adding up to 127, all more than 32, less than 50. Possible. I put as 40, 41, 46. It should happen. This is possible. So our Amit max is 31. Nice. That's the maximum possible. It cannot be more than 31. He cannot be 32. This is 32. This has to be 33. It will be more than 32. Only 3 have got more than 32. Amit, yes, maximum can be 31. Minimum. Amit has to be minimum. Everything else has to be maximum, as high as possible. So what do I put? I put this guy as 50. As 49. This guy as 48. And this guy as 32. Add everything up. 2 plus 8, 10, 19, 9, 1, 6 plus 4, 10, 14, 17, 179. Total is 190. These 4 fellows add up to 179. Amit will have 11. So I could have 50, 49, 48, 32, 11. That's a possibility. Or Amit minimum equal to 11. The difference between maximum and minimum is 20. Very nice question. Capture all the detail. Keep in mind that average is 38, so sum should be 190. 3 are more than 32. That means the fourth one is less than or equal to 32. It could still be equal to 32. Amit is the least. If Amit has to be maximum, then S4 has to be as high. The maximum value S4 can take is 32. Amit maximum can be 1 less than S4, 31. Easy. Amit has to be minimum. Other 4 have to be as high as possible. 50, 49, 48, 32 is the best scenario, which makes Amit as 11. 21 minus 11, 31 minus 11 is 20. Mr. Pinto invest 1/5 of his capital at X%, at 6%, 1 by 5 at 6%, 1/3 at 10%, 1/3 at 10%, and the remaining at 1%. Remaining, right? So 1 by 5 plus 1 by 3 is 3 plus 5, 8 by 15. So 7 by 15. Remaining is 7 by 15 at 10%. No, not 10%, 1%. Sorry about that. I will fix that. Each rate being simple interest per annum, then the minimum number of years required for the cumulative interest income from these investments to equal or exceed this capital. Nice. Find the weighted average interest rate. Find, it's all simple interest. 1 by 3, 1 by 5 and 7 by 5. Find the weighted average rate, or 1 by 5 is 5 by 15. Sorry, 3 by 15, 5 by 15, 7 by 15. So 3 into 6% plus 5 into 10% plus 7 into 1% divided by 15. 3 into 6 is 18, 5 into 10 is 50, 18 plus 50 plus 7 divided by 15. 68 plus 7, 75 by 15, this is 5%. The weighted average of all of this is 5%. So it's like saying he's taken his whole capital and put it in for 5%. The cumulative interest income from these investments to equal or exceed his initial capital. Interest should be equal to capital. You're getting 5% per year, simple interest. 2 years you'll get 10%, 3 years you'll get 15%, 20 years you'll get 100%. 20 years exactly he'll have a capital, an interest equal to capital. So cumulative interest from these investments to equal or exceed it, equal in 20 years. 20 is our answer. 2 ships meet mid-ocean and then one ship goes south and another ship goes west. Both traveling at constant speeds. 2 hours later they are 60 kilometers apart. This distance is 60 kilometers. If the speed of one of the ships is 6 kilometers per hour more than the other one, then the speed in kilometers per hour of the slower ship. The slower ship is this one. Say it's at x. This is 2x. This is 2 times x plus 6. Speed of the slower ship, let it be x kilometers per hour. 2 hours it will travel 2x kilometers. The faster ships will be x plus 6 kilometers per hour. In 2 hours it will follow 2 times x plus 6. Now this is 2x. This is 2x plus 12. Difference is 12. Chances are this is a beautiful Pythagorean triplet. 60, I will think about 3, 4, fine. Or 5, 12, 13 or 7, 24, 25. This is 60, 60, 48, 36. The difference between these two is 12. That works. So this is 36, 48, 60. That's the Pythagorean triplet. So the faster ship has covered 48 kilometers. Slower ship has covered 36 kilometers. 36 kilometers in 2 hours. In 1 hour it travels 18 kilometers. Speed is 18 kilometers per hour. 18 kilometers per hour into 2 is 36. 24 kilometers per hour into 2 is 48. 36, 48, 60 is the right angle triangle Pythagorean triplet. We are through. Bob can finish a job in 40 days if he works alone. Alex is twice as fast as Bob and thrice as fast as Cole in the same job. Bob, Alex, Cole. Alex is twice as fast as Bob and thrice as fast as Cole. If this were X, or I'm going to say Alex is 6x per day, Bob will be 3x per day, and Cole will be 2x per day. Suppose Alex and Bob work together on the first day, Bob and Cole work together on the second day, Cole and Alex work together on the third day, and then they continue the work by repeating this 3-day roster with Alex and Bob working together on the 4th day and so on. The number of days Alex would have worked when the job gets finished. Nice question. How much? So Bob can do 3x in a day, Alex can do 6x in a day, Cole can do 2x in a day. Integers really help. Total task is 3x into 40, 120x. On day 1, we get 10, 9x. First we have Alex and Bob, then Bob and Cole, and then Cole and Alex. Bob and Cole, that is day 2, is 5x. Then day 3 is Cole and Alex work together, that is 8x. You have to go up to 120x. A 3-day cycle, we do 9 plus 5 plus 8, 14 plus 8, 22x. So we do this 3-day cycle 10 times over. Sorry, 5 times over. 22x into 5 is 110x. So day 16 would be back to day 1 where we do 9x, and then day 17 is when it gets finished. So Alex has worked 5 days, no, not 5 days, 10 days, full cycles, 5 full cycles. In each cycle he works 2 days. A and B, B and C, C and A completely. So in this 5 cycles, Alex has worked 10 days, Bob has worked 10 days, Cole has worked 10 days. And then day 16, Alex and Bob work. So again, Alex gets 1 more day. Day 17 is Bob and Cole. That would have been the tricky day. Do you count it or not count it? Because it's half a day, not a full day. Luckily for us, we don't have to do it. Then the number of days Alex would have worked when the job gets finished is 10 plus 1, 11 days. Lovely. A glass containing 500 cc of milk and a cup containing 500 cc of water. Nice. Glass and cup. Right. This is 500 cc of milk. This is 500 cc of water. Nice. From the glass, 150 cc of milk is transferred to the cup and mixed thoroughly. Nice. Next, 150 cc of this mixture is transferred from the cup to the glass. Now the amount of water in the glass and the amount of milk in the cup are in the ratio. Beautiful. Fine. So we take 150 ml, pour it into this. We take 150 ml from there, pour it into this. So once we pour here, this becomes 650 ml. And then we take 150 and pour it in here. This again comes back to 500. It goes from 500 to 350 back to 500. It goes from 500 to 650 back to 500. Nice. Amount of water in the glass and the amount of milk in the cup are in the ratio. Brilliant, brilliant. So finally, it's going to be some water and some milk. So let's say lots of milk is there. The remaining is water. Likewise, lots of water is there. Remaining is milk. Brilliant. Now think about this. It's a beautiful question because some amount of milk is there. So we had 500 ml. Some amount of milk is there, let's say 396.825 ml. I don't care. The remaining is water. Nice. Up to 500 ml, the remaining is water. This remaining is water because that amount of milk has been taken away and put where? Put here. And so this were 396 ml. Remaining 104 ml would be water. Where has that 104 ml of water got its space from? Where have we got the space to put 104 ml of water here? Because 104 ml of milk has been removed and put here. Or, in a very roundabout fashion, because we started with 500 ml of milk and 500 ml of water, the amount of water and milk and water, it's got to be the same. We can do this algebraically, arithmetically, but it's far juicier to think about it conceptually. We're saying, this was what milk originally, now it has become water. Because my 500 ml is the same. So this much milk has been taken away from this container and then replaced with water. Taken away and put where? Put here. Or the milk here and the water here are same, 1:1. Done. Super juicy question if you think about it like this. In an examination, the average marks of students in section A and B are 32 and 60 respectively. A and B, which is 32 and 60. The number of students in section A is 10 less than that in section B. N plus 10. The average marks of all the students across both the sections combined is an integer. The difference between the maximum and minimum possible number of students in section A is it's an integer. So you have 32 and 60. Right? So you want to think about, can the average in between be 33? Can the average in between be 59? And so we want to find the maximum and difference between the maximum and minimum possible number of students in section A. Right? To start with, 32 and 60, smack in between these two, 92 by 2 equals 46. Nice. So the average is more than 46. Why? This weightage is higher. Nice and simple. Nothing more than that. So what do? We say, hey, put this as 32, put this as 60, and then say this difference is 47. Hypothetically, it cannot be 46. We know it's an integer. Make it 47. So what is the ratio? This could be 13 is to 15. The difference between these two is 2x. 2x is 10. That means this could be 65 students and 75 students, and this will work. So it could be 47. 47 is possible. Next, what do? We say, hey, nice, juicy. We make it 32 and 60. Make the average in between as 59, because it can go as much as possible to that side. What's the ratio? This is 1 and this is 27. The ratio is 1:27. The difference is 26. That cannot be in 26x cannot be 10. This is out. So don't make it 59. Make it 58. Make it 2 and 26. Difference is 24x. That doesn't work. Make this 3 and 25. Difference is 22x. Doesn't work. Make it 4 and 24. Difference is 21x. Doesn't work. I want the difference to be equal to 10. The sum of these two is 28. The difference should be a multiple of 10. So this difference, 4 and 24, that 4 to 24, the difference is 20x. 20x equal to 10. Is that even possible? Let me think. 32, 60, weighted average being 4 away from here. So this is 56. This is 24. This is 4. The ratio is 1:6. Yep. This being 10, the difference being 10, that means this is 2, this is 12. That is possible. Fine. So the other extreme, when we take the ratio to be 4 and 24, the difference is 20x. 20x cannot be 10, but 4:24, which is 1:6. 5x can be 10, which is what we are plugging here, 2 and 12. So the number of students, minimum number can be 2. Maximum number, which we did here, can be 65. In class A, the difference between the maximum and minimum possible number of students in A, 65 minus 2, 63 should be the answer. Yeah, done. Classic, beautiful question in allegations. You plonk the number in and then find out. This largest possible average is 59, but that doesn't work. 58, 57, 56, that works. Plonk it in. Smallest possible average is 47. That works directly. We're through. Neetu has an initial capital of 20,000. Out of this, she invests 8,000 at 5% in Bank A, 5,000 at 5.6% in Bank B, 20k, 8k at 5.5%, 5k at 5.6%, The remaining at X% at bank B. 8 plus 5 is 13, 7K at C at X%. Her combined annual interest income from these investments is equal to 5% of the initial capital. Nice. 5.5, 5.6, overall being 5. This should be lower. If she had invested her entire capital in bank C alone, then her annual income would have been. So we find this X% and then we are through. Overall average is 5%. We can find the averages and then simplify with the weighted average thing or find the actual amount. 8K at 5.5% is 440. 5% is 400, another 0.5%, 440. 5.6% at 5K is 280. 20K at 5% is 1000. 440 plus 280 is 0 to 720. So this, our 7K gets her 280. 1000 minus 720. Which is a return of 4%. 5.5, 5.6 will average to 5.55, something there. That is at 4%. Weighted average closer to this. Yeah, it should work. 5%. We're getting 4%. If you had invested the entire amount there, 20K at 4% gives us 800. Rather juicy, simple arithmetic question. You should look at this and gobble it up. Two cars travel from different locations at constant speeds to meet each other after starting at the same time. They take 1.5 hours if they travel towards each other and 10.5 hours if they travel in the same direction. Nice. If the speed of the slower car is 60 kilometers per hour, then the distance traveled in kilometers by the slower car when it meets the other car while traveling towards each other. I had to look at this question like twice over, thrice over. Fine. So the question says, if they move towards each other, they take 1.5 hours. They move in the opposite direction. That is this starting from, sorry, let me just erase this, make it super clear. It'll take 10.5 hours. This guy has to catch up with that guy. And so the relative speed, substitute that, find their individual speeds, their ratios and all of that. The question says, the speed of the slower car is 60 kilometers. The distance traveled in kilometers by the slower car when it meets the other car while traveling towards each other. It takes 1.5 hours to meet up, traveling at 60 kilometers per hour. Nothing, we don't need to solve anything. The speed is given, time traveled is given. The slower car is traveling at 60 kilometers per hour. It travels 1.5 hours before it meets. How much distance will it travel? 60 kilometers per hour into 1.5, 90 kilometers. I spent an inordinate amount of time on this question because I found everything. I was like, what? Am I missing something? I had to pause and take stock and then mark the answer. Till the end, I was not confident. Moody takes 30 seconds to finish writing an escalator if he walks on it on his normal speed in the same direction. He takes 20 seconds to finish writing the escalator if he walks at twice his normal speed in the same direction. And so, let's say Moody takes m steps per minute. Escalator takes e steps per minute. So in the first instance, it will take 30 seconds. So 30 m he is doing. Escalator will also be doing this plus 30, that many steps are there. 30 steps per minute I make this as seconds. I don't want to deal with minutes. Very silly thing to take this as minute. I thought it was minute. Let me take this as second. In the second instance, she is traveling at twice his normal speed. That he becomes 2m steps per second. And he covers it in 20 seconds. Or this should be equal to 40m plus 20e. The escalator is going only for 20 seconds, 20e. He is going only for 20 seconds but traveling at 2m. So 40m plus 20e, that many steps get covered, which is equal to 30m plus 30e. Manipulate this, bring e this side, m that side. 10e equal to 10m, e is equal to m. Escalator's number of steps per second is equal to Moody's number of steps per second. If Moody decides to stand still on the escalator, then the time in seconds needed for riding the escalator, total distance is 30m plus 30e. He goes to 0. That means this also has to be done by E. M is equal to E, 60 seconds. We're done. Consider 6 distinct natural numbers such that the average of the two smallest numbers is 14. AB, sum is 28, average is 14. The average of the two largest numbers is 28. These two, sum is 56, average is 28. Nice. Then the maximum possible value of the average of these 6 numbers. Nice. Two numbers averaging out to 28. We told very clearly distinct natural numbers. And we have written them, let's say we have written them in sequence A, B, C, D, E, F. A less than B less than C less than D less than E less than F. Nice. So E less than F adding up to 56. 28 plus 28 doesn't work. We want numbers to be as high as possible. These two averaging to 14. It can be anything. I can put 13 and 15 here. But those two, I want to put 27 and 29. Why? I want E to be as high as possible. Why? Because my missing two numbers are C and D. I want to take them as high as possible. So E should be as high as possible, 27, 29. If I put 26, 30, E becomes lower. What can I put here? No condition. Make this 26, make this 25. Add everything up, we are through. So these two add up to 28, those two add up to 56, 84 plus 25 plus 26 is 51 divided by 6. 84 plus 51 is 135 by 6 divided by 3, 45 by 2, 22 and a half, 10. Two ships are approaching a port along straight routes at constant speeds. Initially, the two ships and the port formed an equilateral triangle with sides 24 kilometers. Nice. This is a port P. Ship 1 is coming from here. Ship 2 is coming from here. Forms an equilateral triangle with sides of 24 kilometers. So this is 24. This is 24 kilometers. When the slower ship travelled 8 kilometers, the angle formed by the new positions of the two ships and the port became right angled. The slower ship travelled 8 kilometers. Let's say S1 is a slower ship. It has travelled 8 kilometers. And so this angle is 60. It has travelled 8. So let's say S1 reaches S1 dash. This is 16 kilometers remaining. The faster ship would have reached some point S2 dash. It travelled more distance. The triangle formed by the new positions of the two ships at the port became a right angle. This is 60. This is not right angle. I'm joining S1 dash, S2 dash and 60. This should be longer. This is shorter. This should be the right angle. This cannot be right angle. This is right angle. This is 60. This is right angle. This is 30. The hypotenuse is 16. So S1 dash, S2 dash P. I carve out this triangle. S1 dash, S2 dash P. This is 30 degrees. This is 16. This is a right angle. Sine 30 is S2 dash P by S1 dash P. That is half. So this is 16. S2 dash P should be 8. That means S2 dash P should be 16 kilometers. Nice, brilliant. When the faster ship reaches the port, the distance in kilometers between the other ship and the port will be. This is the faster ship. So the slower ship travels 8 kilometers. The faster ship travels 16 kilometers. But the faster ship is twice as fast as the slower ship. So when the faster ship reaches the port, that means the faster ship has traveled 24 kilometers. The slower ship should have traveled 12 kilometers, half of that. So when this fellow reaches here, this fellow will be just at the midpoint, 12 kilometers. The distance between the other ship and the port will be 12 kilometers. Key thing is finding out that S2 is traveling at twice the speed of S1. Then we're through. Beautiful question. A group of N people worked on a project. They finished 35% of the project by working 7 hours a day for 10 days. N people, 70 hours correspond to 35%. If you were 100%, it would have been N people for 200 hours. So total task is 200 N. Very clear, 7 hours a day, 35%, 7 hours a day, 10 days, is 70 man hours into N, 70 N man hours, with 35% of the task. Full task, that into 100 by 35, it will become 200. And 200 N man hours are required to finish this project. You know this. Thereafter, 10 people left the group and the remaining people finished the rest of the project in 14 days, working 10 hours a day. So the remaining N minus 10 people work 140 hours to finish the remaining task. 70n had been done. 70n had been completed. Total task is 200n. This was required to do 130n. What is this 130n? 200n minus 70n. Lovely. The value of n is, simplify this, 140n minus 1400 is 130n, or 140 minus 130, 10n is 1400, or n is 140.